Monday night. We're live right here, Puck's Pike's Pub, right here in Southampton, PA, like we are always. We were Tuesday, now we're Monday. Doubleheader Monday Night Football. We got Eagles reaction. We got Phillies. Hopefully, they clinch. I'm your host, Tony Cutillo. Be joined by my man Frank Grewbs pretty soon. Be joined by Tyler Mraz to do the pregame for the Phillies, like we always do. Throw some bets out there. We get the HRS triple play. Make sure you're following Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats and the YouTube page as well. We are live all across. We got David checking in already from Cedar Hill, Texas. What's up, David? How are you doing? We got our man Adams will be coming here live. Expecting him pretty soon. Got my boy Dave, who hit for $10,000 last week, which I'm very curious to see how he did it, man. I'm very, very curious. 10,500, by the way, on his DraftKings Showdown lineup, which was on Thursday Night Football, thanks to Aaron Rodgers. We got two football games tonight. We got a huge football game to talk about that just got over that listen, I don't know if you say, is it a good win, a bad win? Is there any such thing as a bad win? I'm not sure. I'm interested to hear what people say. And the poll question of the night, as always, is who's at more blame right now for this Eagles offense looking so lethargic? Is it Nick Sirianni or is it Jalen Hurts? That's what we want to know. Because I have a couple theories of my own. And listen, Nick Sirianni came out today and he said the same thing, man. He called the fake play. He did a couple things. So I'm curious, are you comfortable with that? Because again, that's going to be a bigger problem. But I got to address something in the elephant in the room. Make sure you get live right here at Pike's Pub. Again, it's 455 Southampton, PA on second, or 455 Second Street Pike, Southampton, PA. You can find them at Facebook. They listen every single day. They do have a $3 happy hour, which is fantastic. So make sure you get down here and enjoy the good atmosphere. Enjoy about 15 TVs live right now that will have baseball, we'll have football, we'll have everything on. And of course, we're going to have some winning bets like we always do. So hopefully we get that ching-ching. And hopefully the Phillies could actually clinch for once, because we've been waiting for them to clinch the NL East. Going up against Chicago Cubs. Will Aaron Nola do it? Will he be the guy to do it? It's going to be interesting. So I can't wait to get Tyler on here in a little bit to break down this game. And if you listen to the radio, and I know you listen to the radio, we all listen to the radio from time to time, right? Whether we hate it, we love it, doesn't matter. We have like a love-hate relationship with a lot of the radio talks, right? But, you know, you heard a lot of different theories today, a lot of different excuses, a lot of reaction from this Philadelphia Eagles game. And I've heard excuse after excuse after excuse. I'm not going to get nuts yet. I'll probably get nuts a little later because I know somebody, whether in here tells me it sounds like I'm recording from my mom's basement or online tell me at the same time, oh, is he here tonight? I don't know. I'm curious if he has a microphone, if he can actually talk as much as we can talk. But that's a story for a different day. But we want to talk about, you know, what this game has told you, not what the WIP host has told you, not what the 97.5 the Fanatic host has told you, not what the national pundits have told you. What does it tell you? What kind of eye test does it pass to you? Because we can go through the stats all we want in this game, and my eye test, I'll tell you what, man, it is not clear at all. We are not seeing anything clear whatsoever. So I'm just curious to see what everybody seems to think about that, because if that offense is going to basically, if it's going to counteract the way it has done for this first day, we're going to have a long season, man. We're going to have a long season. Turnovers from Jalen Hurts, lackluster play, look like he can't read a defense. And for everybody who wants to jump on the Dallas Goedert chain, listen, I got a couple things about Dallas Goedert. Number one, fantastic game. I'll get it. I'll just say about time. All right, we can say what we want. It's about time. I mean, we're waiting for the guy to step up. He wants to be paid like a top 5 10 end. He's 29 years old, but it's about time, right? It's about time he did what he did, and he got lucky because if those two same players don't hit each other in the middle of the field and fall down, Dallas Goedert never even makes it to the 50 on that play. So very, very interesting that Jalen Hurts was able to hit him, but very, very interesting also that he was looking at the hit. I want to see if anybody else had saw that, like I seen that as well, where he's running down the sideline. It's not that he ran out of gas. He was worried about getting hit. And I don't understand how a tight end of that size and plays with that kind of power is afraid to get hit out of bounds. So I'm very, very curious if anybody else saw the same thing that I did. Then when you look at the other side of the ball, listen, you knew the defense was going to show up. You knew they were going to ball out, right? You know, there's a lot of questions now in New Orleans, and that the questions are, is Derek Carr for real? My man David checking in. Yes, David, this is last week for baseball season, regular season, right? This is last for regular baseball season. Now we start here in Philadelphia. We start Red October, which is extremely fun. Now we get to see if we're going to win again this year. And what I mean by that is win again to get us to where we need to be. So a lot of questions surrounding that. So it's going to rely on the arm of Aaron Nola. And again, David, I know your Angels are out there struggling, bro. I do, but I'm curious, man. Are you still in love with your boy Mike Trout out there? Are you willing for him to change positions? Are you ready for that? Let me know, man. I'm curious because I think he's just following the whole Bryce Harper MO. I will say this. I told everybody the way I felt about Mike Trout. No disrespect to him. I think he's obviously future Hall of Famer. His career is going to get cut too short, but I think he took the easy way out where Bryce took the hard way out. And I think Bryce Harper gets more of a negative vibe towards him than Mike Trout does. I don't know why that is. Who knows, right? We don't know. But one person that gets a lot of negativity, like we'll say, is Jalen Hurts. And honestly, right now, I think it's rightfully so. I do. I think that there's a lot of variables that went into this game that you're going to be able to look at and say, maybe everybody was right. Were they all right? Were they right when they said he couldn't read a defense? Were they right when they said he got paid too quickly? Were they right? And again, he's playing right into their arms, right? He's playing right into their hands when it comes down to that. So I hate to say it, but I'm actually starting to feel that way a little bit. And I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate that I feel that way. David says Mike Trout should be traded to the Detroit. Why the Detroit Tigers, David? I'm curious. Why are you trading Mike Trout to Detroit? Why, like, who you going to get back from Detroit? Why does Detroit want Mike Trout? That's what I want to know. Why does Detroit want Mike Trout? That's what we have to look at. That's a team when they up and coming, right? A team that's trying to build from within. Why do they want Mike Trout? Interesting. I'm curious. But one thing's for sure, there's going to be a lot of entertaining offers. For Mike Trout. That's for damn sure. But to get back until we bring Tyler in and we talk a little MLB pregame for the Philadelphia Phillies against the Chicago Cubs. First pitch going up at 6:40. We have the HRS triple play. We have the Pike Pub bonus bet like we do every single Monday. And we also have a bunch of parlays, a bunch of single bets, a bunch of anytime touchdown bets, all ready for Monday Night Football. So make sure you're sticking with us for the entire show. We're here from 6 to 9. So if you're here checking in, make sure you come up and say what's up. We got an open mic. If you have something you want to say, whether it's, something you ate bad this morning for breakfast, or you're very happy about the Philadelphia Eagles, or you're not happy about the Eagles, or you want the Phillies to win, or you think they're going to clinch tonight. Why would you say they wouldn't clinch tonight? Anything that you want to talk about, the mic is open, except I don't want to talk politics tonight. I'm not in the mood for that. So I've seen enough commercials the last 3 days to really put me in a mental institution, to be honest with you. So I really don't want to talk that at all. So if you want it, the mic is there as we get ready to bring Tyler and Frank in pretty soon and go up to this 6:40 pitch. Now, David, I will say this. I know you've been on this Mike Trout wagon for a long time. And I know. So what do you think your team is going to do in the offseason? I have to ask you that. What do you think your team is going to do in the offseason? Are they going to go? Is Ari Marino, is he, listen, 50-50, Shea Ohtani, 50-50, man? Or is that hurting you every week? I know it would be hurting me if that was my star-studded player that I brought in, right? And now he's playing somewhere else. I definitely know that would be my issue for sure. So looking at the matchup tonight for the Philadelphia Phillies, I think just from our perspective, Aaron Nola. What Aaron Nola are we going to get tonight? Are we going to get the Aaron Nola who can close, or are we going to get the Aaron Nola that's going to give you that third or fourth inning that's going to be a shit show? You let me know what you think, because I think we're actually going to get the Aaron Nola that can close tonight. I do. I think we're going to get the Aaron Nola that can close tonight. I do. Now, his prop was kind of high at over 6.5 Ks. I took the 5 or more, but I'm not sure what one we're going to get from an innings eating perspective, right? How many innings is this guy going to last? And I'll tell you what, man, we're going to have to play to the very end. Like, this is not going to be easy for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's really not. David checking in says, I'm pissed off my Angels. They're not performing right. Listen, man, blame your owner. I'm going to say that again. Blame the owner, because he has completely he completely screwed up everything when it comes to the LA Angels, California Angels, Anaheim Angels, whatever you want to call them. We got Frank getting set up. My man Frank Ruby. We got some big things popping pretty soon. What's up, Frank?
Oh, it sounds good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Man.
Nice.
How about you? Can you hear yourself?
Sounds fantastic, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect.
There you go. I like it. You got the good mic. No light tonight. No light tonight.
I'm
no
not plugged in. I didn't plug it. You want the light?
It's okay. Do whatever you want, man.
No, you don't. Okay.
Completely up to you.
It'll be on soon.
Yeah, that's all. It's all good.
I'm going to put it on soon.
Hey, man, what do you think tonight? Before we break this game down, and strip it down, I just talked about it. Aaron Nola. What Aaron Nola we getting tonight?
I don't know. Do we ever? No. You go out and we normally find out really quick. What we're gonna find, what night he's gonna have, but this has just been consistently every time he goes out there in a bigger type of a game situation that we wonder ourselves, what are we going to get? But we know he has what it takes to do it. We know he has the ability. We know he throws the right combination of pitches. We know he's good at keeping people off balance. He's a smart guy. He studies. I'm sure he knows exactly the game plan that needs to be had to win the game tonight, and just whether he can execute it or not. We're all sitting here on pins and needles, kind of waiting to see.
Pins and needles, man. That's what you said. Pins and needles. That's not for sure. Bad. My man Jason Lee, Skyler checking in, says, as a public service, I want to tell people not to go to bed wearing their Jalen Hurts jersey. You'll have a sleepless night from all the turning over. That's my man Jason, as always, with the inside jokes. Make sure you check out Jason as well, man. Does a wonderful trivia thing all week long. Tuesday, I know he's at, I'm pretty sure you can correct me, but Tuesday night, I think he's at Pal's, and Thursday night at Mike's Tavern up there on York Road. So he does or it's vice versa. Jason can, but he is at least at twice a week, giving people trophies. Did you ever win a trivia trophy, Frank?
No. Not a trivia trophy. I wish I had.
Yeah, I never won a trivia trophy. I'm not that good at trivia.
I blame it on my partners.
That's okay.
Everyone who knows me is like, yeah, that's typical Grewbs.
I've done pretty well in trivia myself. That's all right. You're making some adjustments. It's all good.
Sorry,
you're a little low tonight. You're a little low tonight. I don't know why. Low volume.
You want me to speak up more?
I don't know, man.
Is it me or is it?
I don't know, man.
You got the EQ in there?
Yeah, man. Look at your things all the way.
What can I say? I'm relaxed.
That's. Are you relaxed about tonight? Are you relaxed about tonight?
No, I'm not relaxed about tonight. No, not at all.
No, that's the thing, man.
Not at all. I'm worried. Listen, if you look at like our last 10 games, I swear, like one of the first times I was on with you, we were going right through the same type of thing we're going through now. So I'm going to go down the list. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And you listen to this.
Let's listen to it, babe. Let's
go.
You
listen to this BS. Last 10 games, Alec Bohm, 216 average, 3 runs scored, 1 home run. Bryson Stott, 171 average, 6 hits. Did you hear what I said? I said 171.
171.
171. All right. And he's had other stretches where he's been just as bad. Nicky Castellan, he's our only guy, one of our only few saving grace, along with Schwarber. But you look at these last 10, he's the only one hitting worth anything that should keep us positive about tonight. He's hitting 289 with 11 hits and 2 home runs. But Bryce is hitting 211. How does that happen?
211. That's not good.
In the last 10 games.
It's not good.
Now, and these are your young stud, these are the horses I'm riding with for the next 10 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 100%.
I don't know. It'd be nice if one of our guys out there who are punching the computer sitting there watching us at home or something, check it out. But I'm sure I'd like to see if this has occurred in other organizations who eventually got to that World Series point and figured it all out. Did they go through stretches that were this poor?
Or what do they call them? Ebbs and flows.
Well,
they say ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, man. Listen.
It's a long season. None of us can experience anything quite like it. in terms of the emotions you can feel.
Yeah, no, 100%, man, 100%. But listen, we got our boy Tyler checking in, man. Who, again, Tyler does the pre and post game most like 95% of the time, and so my old ass can actually stay up, or I'm not busy enough to do it with him. But he does a fantastic job. Make sure you're following him at Tyler Miraz. Tyler's at T Miraz 05, I think it is. You can correct that when you get on. But you know, every pregame and postgame, man, the dude is on it, dropping bets, dropping plays. Tyler, what's your feeling tonight for this Phillies game?
I honestly think it's going to be a blowout. I mean, that may be a controversial take, but I think it's going to be a blowout. Game 1 at home. You're one of 4 games tonight. You had the chance to win the NL East at home. You didn't get it done in Queens, so I mean, I guess it's okay because you get to do it in front of the home crowd. You get the party in the clubhouse. So I think they're going to come out swinging. Nate Pearson's on the mound for the Cubs. He's not the greatest pitcher, so I think they're going to have a real bounce-back game with their offense. I think Nola's going to shut it down too, and I'm expecting a huge win tonight.
A huge win, Frank. He says blowout.
Blowout. God bless you, brother. I hope it's like that. I hope we're laughing it up like this, like, you know, into the third inning, and we're like, we're running away. We're all, you know, we're cheersing it up. I don't know, but that's. I hope it goes that way. What do you think?
I don't know about blowout, okay, but I do feel win. I do. I'm with Tyler. I feel win. I think the offense gets better. Listen, there's something about, you know, just a Monday baseball game. There's just something about a Monday night baseball game at home. I don't know what it is, but you went through it. Listen, and I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that, by the way, real fast, shout out to Edwin Diaz. I'm a big baseball fan. I don't care whether you hate the Mets or you're not. That dude belongs in the game. I'm glad to see him back and on the mound. The one thing I hate, I don't know if you guys noticed, that stupid flickering light that they're doing out there. And man, like on every play, no matter what, like every play is a flickering. It's got like a disco light, like we're back in the freaking 80s or something.
Absurd.
You see it? Tyler, you see that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they do it for like every play. It's kind of annoying. I see they do it at other stadiums too, but the Mets kind of overkill it a little bit.
Well, hopefully the Phillies aren't listening. Not like they are, because I don't want them to do that here. I definitely don't. Now, Tyler, I like Nola tonight, but I am a little pessimistic. And his prop was over 6.5 strikeouts on one site, and I thought, whoa, way too high, Tyler, way too high. I like him at 5 or more. Are you feeling the high strikeout total, or are you feeling, you know what? I think he's going to play well, but I don't think he's going to be that well.
Well, the thing about Aaron Nola versus the Cubs, I mean, he's pitched in 9 games in his career against them, and only 2 of those games he's given up 2 runs or less, so he's kind of struggled against the Cubs in his career, a 4.69 ERA, but you look at his strikeout numbers, 4, 10, 8, 8, 7. So a 6.5, I'm not sure, but I do like 5.5 a lot.
Yeah, see, I'm with you. What do you think, Frank?
I like 5.
That's where I'm at.
5. I usually don't agree with you when you come up.
I know you don't usually agree with me with the bets.
Tonight I do. Now, if it goes his way, yeah, that number of 6 and change could definitely be attainable, because we all know if he comes out and he's sharp and he's crisp, he's hitting his spots. That's all it's about as a pitcher. If you hit your spots, you can do anything you want.
Yes.
Even if one of your pitches isn't working and you're still hitting your spots, you can still be successful that evening. But, I'd love to see it. I hope what he's saying comes true. I hope we come out, but what we need to do is hit. We got to get guys on base early in this game, guys. Yeah.
My God,
right?
Man. Like, we really, really do. My man Jason checking in says, he says, maybe it's the pessimism from a lifetime of being a Philly fan, but this team worries me. That stacked lineup goes cold all the time at the same time. That hasn't changed since last season. Pardon me. Nola is a crapshoot. He could be great and he could be awful. And I'm not totally comfortable with the bullpen. Besides that, I feel great. Make sure you check him out. Philly Sports Convo as well. Does a fantastic podcast. Man, he's had Larry Boa. He's had Uncle Charlie. Charlie Met. Like, he does all kinds of guests on that. It's pretty, really good podcast, man. So make sure you're checking it out. Tyler, what he's saying is exactly the way I feel. They all go cold at the same time. And, the bullpen, like, we could be looking at a fantastic bullpen, but it's the same thing. They all go cold at the same time. right? So I think that is a difference from last year, because I think last year it wasn't everybody at one time until they got to the playoffs. Now it's happening in the regular season. So I am a little concerned about that. What about you?
No, yeah, that's all fair points because you've seen it in the last two postseasons. The Astros series, you were up 2-1. You just came off that huge Game 3 victory, and then you get no hit, and then the Verlander game, and then ultimately the game-losing game, Game 6. And then it happened last year in Arizona. Once they went to Arizona, they just kind of went cold. You had to win one game in Philly, and the offense just was nowhere. They were nowhere to be found. So it's definitely something that has happened in the past, and it's very, good concern because it's happened. So it's not like, oh, you're making something up. It's a genuine concern that's actually been happening. And you look at the team this year, when Bryce Harper went cold, the entire team went cold. They were doing absolutely nothing. They were up 30 games of over 500, and then they were back under 20. So it's definitely something to be concerned with, but that's why I've been preaching that they need to get the bye, not only for home field advantage, but just for the fact that they kind of go all out for those first two series, and then they don't have that much anymore, and then they die out. So I think the bye is going to be even better just because they save all their power, and then they'll only have 3 series compared to the regular 4 that they would need.
Yeah, and they're going to have to keep playing to the very end. They had listen, they clinched tonight. They can toast, they can get happy, they can do whatever they want to do.
And then we're going to start talking about what happens after you clinch.
Right.
Play days off. I mean,
but they got they listen. They had to get the number 1 seed, man.
We have problems. We're going to have we got issues. Period. And I don't feel as comfortable as I did just 2-3 weeks ago.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
No, I just don't.
I don't. But I will tell you what I do feel comfortable with.
Your
I feel
boy.
comfortable with the HRS triple play tonight. So let's get into that. Let's get the bets in because you can place them for the next 7 minutes. Let's see what we're cooking up tonight. And we have the HRS triple play. We'll see if I can stay as hot as Tyler's been playing, man. Obviously, if I can stay as hot as Tyler has been playing, because he's been doing pretty well. And make sure you're checking out WinDailySports.com. Code word HEAT, HEAT. They continue to get your 50% off. And we got the guy coming up at 8:15 who just hit 10,500 with Win Daily on Thursday night, man. 10,500, man. I wish I could hit that.
Got to play to win.
Got to play to win. You got to play to win.
play
And that's
to
what
win.
we do. So code word HEAT, HEAT gets you your 50% off. Tyler, that's where I'm going, man. I want to see what you think. And HRS triple play. Again, Frank, you talked about Nola. That's what I did. I dropped them down. Aaron Nola, 5 or more strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber, 1 or more RBI. Again, he was hitting the ball hard. I know.
He's only got 3 in his last 10 games.
I know. He's due. He's due for a homer, to be honest with you. He's due for a homer in this game.
Anybody on the squad is
Yes.
at this point.
Exactly. And I got
Goodness.
Bone and Turner to get a hit. That's it. This guy get a hit. That's it.
They're hitting the worst of all the
I
bunch,
know.
So
You see what I did, right?
I do.
I'm trying to do the reverse
look,
pessimism
they're
here. You know what I
due.
mean?
They are due.
So you get Aaron Nola. So this is more like a quadruple play. What's okay? I got it up to plus 405. So you got Aaron Nola, 5 or more strikeouts. You got Kyle Schwarber, 1 or more RBI. You got Bowman Turner to get a hit that gets you plus 405. So listen, man, I like it. What do you think, Frank?
I don't mind. I like it. I don't know.
He's like,
sometimes you throw stuff out there, and at first to face value, I'm like, okay, I kind of like it. And then I start thinking about, I'm like, no, this part doesn't. Ultimately, we're all just praying that we get ahead out there and get things done and play the right way tonight.
We're all praying. Tyler, what do you think,
Just
buddy?
Get it finished off.
I do like it. I mean, Schwarber had the home run in the last game, but I mean, he's due. Same with everybody on here is due to have a good game. I mean, Kyle Schwarber's never faced Pearson. Turner has a hit against him. Bohm has a hit against him. So I do like it. It favors it. So I'm a fan of this. I would definitely bet on this.
I'm a fan. See, I like that. I'm a fan of this. I like when you hear I'm a fan of this. I like it. And let's go with the Pike's Pub bonus bet like we always do. We're going to hit it this time. Okay. And we're going to go to Pike Pub's bonus bet. We got Bryce Harper to go long for the home run at plus 370, man. That's the guy who shows up in the big game tonight.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I always think it's Tyler.
Yes.
You like that?
Harper, Here's a stat for you. 23 games. He has 25 RBIs against the Cubs. He's batting 356 as a Philly. I love this. He's going to have a night tonight. He's going to have a series. That series against the Cubs 3 years ago, that was the series that solidified his MVP case. I was at one of the games. He had like 4 RBIs in just one night. He had that 3-run home run. He had a double. He just usually does well against the Cubs. Obviously, the walk-off grand slam in 2019. So I'm huge on Bryce Harper tonight. I really love this. I think that's free money, honestly. I really do.
Free money. He said free money now. Now we got somebody checking in now. I don't know if this is hardcore for all. Says hello. I don't know if this is Diddy's PR manager checking in or what, but I don't know if hardcore is, you know what I mean? I'll just say I don't know what hardcore this is, but we'll say hello back. Where are you from? Age, sex, and location, please. So we can throw this up on the screen. But yeah, Tyler, listen, when you say free money, I like that because I just look at when I do a lot of these, and again, you got about 7 minutes left to place this bet. I look at who's going to step up in a big game, and I know of anybody. He's been coming close, and he's starting to hit the ball to the other field. My man. All right, so this isn't Diddy's PR manager
Marsh doing anything. Right?
Says I feel like the way the team is playing, we are capable of winning the division, then dropping the 2 seed. I hope I'm wrong, of course.
Who said that?
This is hardcore for all. HFA, hardcore for all. Checking in, man.
They're gonna get the 2nd seed.
I like that, and that stinks. I'm not happy with that, man. I am not happy. That 2 seed is going to kill us.
Can I ask you guys a question while we have
you
on too? How much of all this analytic BS through this, if you added it all up through the season, all those moves that you or I would say at home, why he's got to make this change right now, and he never does. He sticks with his gut. How many freaking wins a year does that equal when a real manager who goes and with his gut, like those guys that are gritty, certainly you look at analytics, but how many more wins a year? Sorry for pounding that table.
That's all right. You're shaking my whole computer, but that's okay.
Emphatic about
I'm about to get down for like an earthquake drill or something, but go ahead.
Shut your face. But how many wins or losses? How many extra W's could you have if you just actually went your damn heart instead of analytics every time?
No, you remember we didn't like Joe Girardi because he was a huge analytic guy.
Yeah, but there were times when he was in New York that he would definitely go against it when he felt it. It was purposeful. He'd have I remember specific interviews where he would say, "Yeah, the analytics said this, but I felt this." Well, back to Tory in those times, they were before analytics really became what it is today.
By the way, breaking news. I love, and not breaking news, but just seeing these highlights right now, watching, the last time they clinched at home and just seeing Jimmy and the big piece. And I mean, oh my God, man. I mean, did you see him the other day?
He's thin.
Yeah, he looks great, man. He looks
awesome.
fantastic.
He looks awesome.
I want his doctor. I really do. Hardcore for all says we need that by 100%, or he says it's Rob's a total failure. Tyler, what do you think about that statement right there?
I agree to an extent because there were injuries over the season, but there's been just times where Rob Thompson makes very questionable moves. But I feel like that's just the story of Rob Thompson's Phillies tenure. He's really good. I mean, when he's aggressive, sometimes it works. It's kind of like how Doug Peterson was. It reminds me a little bit of him. When he's aggressive, it works. But then as time goes on, it kind of grows old. But I kind of agree. I mean, there's been games where the Phillies should have won, and then Rob Thompson either leaves someone in too late, or he pulls someone too early, or he plays this person over this person. So I do agree. I mean, if you don't get a bye over the Brewers, that's just a joke. A team that's 4 games under you at this point, and you have the tiebreaker over them. If they don't end up getting a bye, that absolutely falls on Rob Thompson.
Now, see, I disagree. I blame the players, man. Listen, this team, John Middleton paid.
Of course, he
every
says one. I say
dime.
I'm in the middle.
Right? I'm just saying he paid every dime he could, man. Every time he could to put the best overall roster here together. And they're even talking about getting Juan Soto next year, for Christ's sake. He's talking about going that next mile, right?
Well, yeah, why not?
So what I'm saying is you can't, you just mentioned it. All these guys go cold at one time. He can't make Jose Alvarado throw more than 96 and not throw a cheese balls right over the plate. He can't help that, right? He can't. Parker. That's a mistake. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. Hardcore for All says Rob won't even make mound visits late to get the bullpen up. It's not good. Now, I will agree with that. Many times, what do you think about this, Frank? There's many times I've watched the game and say, why is nobody up? And he waits too long to get that bullpen up, and the game gets away from him.
It baffles my mind. I mean, I was an old school player raised by old school coaches, and we did not get into
and had a tryout, by the way. So multiple tryouts for the Expos
and Cardinals
and the Cardinals and the Phillies.
But ultimately, we didn't get into the analytics the way they do today. The guys went by your gut. You'd go out there, you'd do a mound visit. How you feeling? You all right? He'd look at you, in the eye and say, yeah, I'm good. Or be like, yeah, I'm not quite sure. And you could tell the guy that was lying to you because they always all would say they're okay.
Oh, yeah.
But you would know when, like, this is just how it was. You knew when they were okay. Or you had a feeling, you know what? So-and-so's been on the bench. Okay. He's been there 2 days. I don't know. Something about what I saw on BP today told me I got to get him in the game tonight. So if you get an option for him to hit, you get him. That's your guy. You're going to choose a different guy out of nowhere. So you just have to go with your heart, man, and your gut a little more.
Got to go with your gut. You can't go with your heart. Your heart, you're going to fail. You got to go with your gut.
It's almost a common.
This ain't a love fest.
No, you know what I'm saying.
You know
what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just messing.
I know you are. I'm trying to walk it off.
I'm just messing with you. We got Mrs. Mirage checking in, says, but sometimes he should have left the starters in, and then the bullpen blew some games. I mean, I agree with that. I'm with Mrs. Mirage on this one because there's many a times where he's so afraid. Like,
there are not.
I don't know, man.
He takes them out way too early. His thing is taking them out. Ty, help me out here. Does he not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just saying, she should have left the starters in.
Okay, yeah.
Look at Zach Wheeler in the World Series game a couple years ago. Ooh. And then you bring in Jose Alvarado, and boom, Yordan Alvarez 3-run home run. That's the season. That was awful. That was awful. I put my hands in my face as soon as he pulled them because I knew. I was like, that's a terrible move. He has 77 pitches. It's the 7th inning.
Right.
I don't like that. And then Yordan Alvarez, first batter, dead center, and just ripped my heart out of my body and probably everybody else. That was
just made us all relive it again.
You did. You did. Well, Hardcore for All's make us relive it too because he just brought up Craig Kimbrell. So that makes us relive it. Hardcore for All, thank you for all the great commentary. We love it. Make sure I'm not sure if you're subscribed to the channel or not. Make sure you get subscribed and you're like and subscribe, and we'd appreciate it. Also says that demoralizes the team in those moments, like he gives up on common sense. Here's the thing. I can't get a gauge on Topper. Hey,
nobody can.
He's tough.
He's a flatliner, man.
He is. Oh, well, so is Joe Torre, who he was molded from, right?
Does it ever make you wonder what he was like when he was younger around his friends?
What do you think? He was a drinker.
Yeah, but what friend was Topper? Was he like the guy that like got picked on the most of his friends? Was he the loner that was cool that like worked on his car and everyone loved him anyway? Or was he just I often wonder
that's a good question.
How he's looked at or how he integrated with friends growing up. I always thought that to myself because he's very quiet and reserved.
He is.
And I imagine, with the exception of being with just his boys on a Friday night, that he's like that most of his life. At least that's what he leads us to believe.
So here's the question. Right. So Rob Thompson. Yeah. So what age are you talking about? Like 30s?
Yeah.
All right.
Late 20s.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
So Rob Thompson has a shot to either go to Pike's Pub or Delilah's Den. Where's he going?
Where's he going? And how many guys are with him?
Where do you think where do you think he's going? I think he's going to the pub.
He's going to the pub all day. All day.
Yeah, he's not even worried about Delilah's Den.
How you doing, Ted?
Right? He's not even worried about Delilah's Den.
Not even at all.
No.
Not even a concern.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even a concern.
That's Topper.
That is
right. That's
he's
Topper
sitting there talking to the TV like we are. Like, why is that guy doing that? He should have just looked at the analytics.
Oh, my man Mikey V checking in says, "Is this an OnlyFans stream? Because damn, this sports podcast is so sexy. It should be pay-per-view." Look at our man. I don't know. You're the sexy guy with the bald head, man. I wear the hat to cover up the hair, but nah, man, I like. My man, Tyler. So looking at this game, man, looking at the Cubs. I ask you a question because you're a really good baseball guy, and I'm still baffled that the Cubs traded away Christopher Morel. I keep saying that. Like, I don't understand why they trade this young kid away that's so talented. Like, and I just don't understand it. Like, do you think any reason why they would trade this kid away?
I mean, I guess it's because they did not see. I mean, I guess they. Let me rephrase. Oh my God, they view him as probably hitting that.
It is
The ceiling. Probably they feel like he probably reached it, and that in Chicago he wouldn't get any higher than a 30 home run a year, less than 200 average kind of batter. So then they saw Isaac Paredes. They're like a guy who can hit 260s and can give us 17 to 20 home runs. They'd rather take that upside over Morel. But still, it's questionable because I think sending him to the Rays is probably the best spot for him. But I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I wasn't a fan of it then. Not a fan of it now that the Cubs aren't going to make the playoffs once again, which is kind of crazy because the whole Craig Counsell thing, they stole him from Milwaukee, paid him all that money, and the Brewers ended up winning the division. They're probably going to win it by over 10 games. But very questionable moves because they said at the deadline that they were going to make moves for the future, not now, but then they traded one of their best young players for an older guy. It was very questionable moves the Cubs made, and this falls on management.
Yeah, 100%. Mike says the content's getting me worked up. He says the insider info just tickles me.
How about that?
My man, Mikey V. What's up, Mike? Thanks for checking in as always, brother. Always a supporter. Hardcore for All says he also tries so hard to get Stars to go at least 7 innings. I do see that back and forth, right? So that's why I keep saying it's got to be the players. I can't fault Topper, man.
What do you mean the players?
Like if this is a collapse, it's on the players 100%.
100%. He's been doing what he's been doing straight through, and we've succeeded in better ways years prior towards the end of the year and not had these stretches with him coaching the same way he has. He hasn't changed anything about what he's done. And that's some of what frustrates a lot of us, including me.
Yes.
But just real quick for you guys before.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Would you guys consider this a playoff type game?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's 5-3 in the playoffs with a 3.70. So listen, as long as he's been around, guys, Tyler, you brother, he's only had 8 starts.
Isn't that crazy?
Or no, I'm wrong about that. 12 starts, but no, that's right. We're 8. I got that right. It's 8. But dude, think about it. He's 5-3. It's flip a coin.
It is flip a coin.
I hope Tyler's right though.
I do. I hope Tyler's right too. 100%. And it's all going to be about his utilization of that curveball because that seems to be the pitch that gets him in trouble a lot when he's hanging that thing and they feast on it. Right.
I think part of that is because he doesn't at this day and age blow you away with his fastball. If he was throwing 97, 98 consistently, he's like a 94 to 96, 93 to 95 guy consistently. But that it gets out. It's basically a release point when you're throwing a curveball that you're getting your arm into a position that most people couldn't imagine letting a ball come out of it that way. And that right there. See how that landed outside.
And we start with a walk. That's not the way you want to start a game, man.
That's how he came through. But we'll see. That's okay. It doesn't mean he can't recover real quick here.
So Mike wants to know. He says, what are the top 2 things you want changed? He says, with this roster that he has, what would you say? Like Mike's getting hot. Mike's getting right. He's like, now correct me, but who calls the pitch? Catcher, pitcher, manager. I mean, he's asking some valid questions here, right? I don't.
Managers are not calling pitches.
No, 100%.
Is that what they asked? Is that what that person?
Yeah, but he would say, what are the 2 top things you would want changed? I guess if you could just take this roster and say, how do you change it?
27th on my list, but no. Tyler, what would you start with if you were going to change something?
The over-aggression, because you've seen how leaving the pitchers in for too long in the regular season turns out. I mean, look at Ranger Suarez. Rob, I feel like he left him in for too long because Ranger Suarez has never been that late inning kind of person. He's been a 5 to 6 inning type of pitcher. But this year, I mean, he was having a phenomenal year, had a sub-2 ERA before the All-Star break, and then you look at he gets hurt, that back injury, and he still just hasn't looked the same since the beginning of the regular season. So I feel like he should just not throw the pitchers as much as he actually did like in the first half, because I mean even Sanchez took a little bit of a dip. I mean he's still really well. Even Noah a little bit, but not too much. I just think he needs to be a little bit more conservative with his starting pitchers.
I like that, man. Noah just struck the next guy out, so so I like this. How about this one, guys? Hardcore for all. He is if he or she, I'm not sure because we don't know what hardcore for all is.
Nope.
But if it's OnlyFans hardcore, it's gonna get everybody a little excited here. But I know because Mike mentioned it. I'm just saying. I was watching a lot of Diddy talk today, but it says I want Sanchez #2, Nola #3, and then Ranger if necessary. Because this is for you, Frankie, because you were talking about Ranger losing the velo, getting hit all over the place.
Ranger for sure. His velocity's been down dramatically. Why? And we've not been told anything that's wrong with him. Nothing.
Dead arm.
That's it.
I think it's dead arm, man.
I don't know what that is. I mean, unless there's an injury there that they're not telling, or he's hiding from them.
No, it's not injury. I think it's just dead arm, bro. He's got nothing left.
Then he's done as a pitcher completely
for the year. No, for the year. Phil Hughes was the guy who remember Phil Hughes from the Yankees?
Yes.
Okay, so he was out. He was on my fantasy team 1 year, right?
So
he was out
as a player. It's like
his designation was dead arm.
You got to mess it up somehow
to have that. Man. I'm just saying he could have dead arm.
I mean, great. Yeah. I'm all about it.
Hardcore for all says he was nursing a hurt against. He was nursing a hurting back earlier, but I think that back thing was false. I think again, you're not out for 2 months with a twinged back.
Yeah, you could be.
Yeah, he was giddy and so I don't know, man. Like I'm not feeling it.
Your backup, man.
Maybe he went to the party to the Diddy parties. Diddy breakout parties.
He went into the
breakout parties.
He went into the wrong room. He chose the wrong door, bro.
Can I ask you real fast? I'm gonna go off the rails, but
he chose the wrong door.
Read about any of that?
Just that I've seen people come out talking about it.
That is insane.
About being at the parties there and seeing what they saw when they opened doors, and like everything Cat Williams has said is like true.
Yeah.
On the Shannon Sharp stuff.
Oh, the Shannon Sharp stuff.
No, I'm just saying it's like all these celebs are like backing Cat Williams.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, man.
And he talked about this in a stand-up years ago. We're going off the beaten path here.
No, but that's okay.
We go right down this hole. I'll take us all there if you want.
Yeah, my man Jim checking in. Yo, Jim, what's up, buddy? Says, hey, Tony, you doing every Monday night there? I'll get out there 1 week. Yes, absolutely. Every Monday, Jim, we're here for Monday Night Football and the Phillies. So we'll be here every single Monday. 100%. Mike says very valid.
Beautiful.
Early in the year, he was pulling guys early. What happened
JT?
There? JT. Can we get a man crush thing about JT, man?
I'm sure plenty of other young men out there have
that throw yesterday.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Wow. Look at this again.
That's where you throw it. The guy's got to get to it.
That's insane.
Period. You're throwing
best catcher in baseball.
He's throwing it to a spot. To a spot.
I mean, I can't believe people are Tyler. Can we live in a world where he's not the best catcher in baseball? Do people really feel he's not the best catcher in baseball?
People focus too much on the offense. I mean, that's why you have people say, "Oh, Adley Rutschman's the best." It's not. It's still JT Realmuto because people just look at the offense. I mean, JT doesn't have to be that guy on offense. Look at the rest of the Phillies lineup. Look at what he does on defense. Who on defense in the rest of the league does what he does? Nobody. And it just baffles me that people, like a couple years ago, remember when the Mets signed James McCann and people were saying, "Oh, McCann's better than JT," and then McCann did absolutely nothing with the Mets, and he can't even touch home plate with the Orioles now. So look who's better. This JT is so undervalued, especially with defense. Huge state. My man,
I'll go as far as saying historically, he's one of the greatest catchers I've ever watched in my lifetime play.
Sorry, Frank. I'm gonna laugh.
That's okay. You guys can check
it. He says,
obviously, Tyler.
Jigsaw parties burn the place down. Listen, I will. It's a good segue. I want to thank Mikey V for throwing this in there because, I've been nice for too long. Okay, just so people in here don't know me really yet. They don't know. Adam knows me. He knows what I've been capable of over the last 10 to 15 years that I've been broadcasting supposedly from my mom's basement in my mom's house. which is pretty freaking comical.
Oh my god!
So I'm so
Tony,
glad.
dude.
No, I'm so glad. I want to
We're
thank
We're gonna
that
talk more about
douche,
this later.
whoever it was last
We're gonna
week,
talk-
that came up to the table to say that, because it woke me up. It brought back the Jigsaw character that I was nicknamed with 10 years ago.
You told
And I'm
me,
glad, because I was too nice. I was too nice, man. So he had a point.
Let me hear.
He had a point.
Jigsaw's
Now
ego.
you'll
I
get
wanna
to hear a little more of it,
Jigsaw's
but
ego.
I want to give that
Tell
guy a nice a handshake if he's here tonight. And he's got an open mic. I don't think he could probably last longer than 2 seconds, because he's smoking a whole pack of Camels over there. Probably going to handle the mic, but he had enough to say right there. But that's okay. My man Mike, thanks, buddy. Absolutely, as always. But Tyler, let's get this in. We got about 8 minutes left on this first segment.
Nice.
Looking at the Phillies as a whole, let's get back on the rails and looking at future of these playoffs. And I know we can't figure out who's going to play. Who's like a Schwarber already getting a hit, leading off with a double. Is he going to get in there? Oh, he's out.
Oh man,
he was laboring around there, man.
He always overruns that. Him and Castellanos, they try stretching those singles and the doubles, and they're just not passing.
They're not. They're not.
And it's the 2 slowest effing guys on the field.
I know. He was a little out in front of that too.
I know, but that's hilarious that the 2 slowest guys are always the guys trying to stretch them.
Yeah,
look at him.
Oh yeah,
he looked
like Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Wow, it looked like he was carrying a refrigerator, dude.
Yeah, it didn't look that great, man.
Wow.
It didn't look that great. It really did. But that's okay. But you gotta play small ball, right? Hardcore Frost has got to play small ball. Exactly. Get the first, move the runner. You got a $300 million hitter coming up.
You don't need small ball when your leadoff hitters on in the first inning. You could just play baseball.
Well, that's what I mean,
right?
I'm
just $300 million hitters coming up.
Right.
Exactly. So Tyler, looking at the whole playoff landscape and looking at the National League as a whole, what would you say? Like, thinking about it, where do you think the Phillies wind up playing up against? Because I know they're going to the division championship game. I'd be shocked that that'd be a total failure. But who do you think they're playing in that game, man?
I know. I think they're going to get the 2nd seed. So I think they would play the winner of Milwaukee and the Mets as of right now, or I think right now it would actually be the Diamondbacks, because the Mets have the tiebreaker over them. So it would be either the Brewers or the Diamondbacks. But I think they're going to end up, call me crazy, I think they're going to play the Braves. The Braves and the Mets start a 3-game series coming up starting tomorrow. The Braves are only 2 games back. Chris Sale's pitching in that series. It happened 2 years ago. The Mets just needed 1 win to win the division, and the Braves swept them, ended up winning the division. They were tied, but they had the tiebreaker over them. I think it's going to happen again. I think the Phillies are going to see the Braves in that divisional round.
I like that, man.
I do too. That'd be fantastic, because I think we'll beat their asses there too again.
The only thing though is odds are though, how many times are you going to beat the same team in the playoffs, whether it's a 1 game or whether it's a series?
The Sixers and the Celtics, that hasn't really mattered,
right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the Braves in the '90s beat up on a lot of different teams.
No, that's a good point.
They beat up on a lot of different ones too, but
Hardcore Frost says the Mets are hotter though. I'll tell you what, where the hell did the Mets come from? I'll be honest with you, man.
Every year we talk. Arizona. Last year was Arizona. They weren't lighting it up like that all season long, the way they heard that last month and a half, right?
No, they weren't.
They turned that on.
They did.
Everybody started clicking.
Everybody.
And they're doing half of this without Lindor. Lindor hasn't played for the past week.
Right.
They got Acuna's little brother out there.
And God
he's awesome so far.
We Bryson Stott's out and we lose an extra couple. It's just like, it doesn't even, just sad that we can't produce with all the talent that we have.
Listen, man.
Or is it really the right talent? That's the question.
I think it is. Did he get hit or did he just walk?
I'm convinced we're not winning nothing with this.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Stop.
We need another second baseman to win.
So wait,
we need a power. We need Stott. He's a weak link, man. Stott. So
it hit the umpire.
Yeah.
It didn't even hit Bryce.
He's got a pretty good look at that. You think he'd have gotten out of the way,
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's saying that.
Exactly. Well, here goes Bones going to get my hit. Just so you know, he's going to get the hit right here.
I hope he does.
I think he's going to get the hit.
There it is.
Oh yeah, it was not. Nah, he's not gonna get
Yeah.
a hit. That was bad.
Well, yeah.
I tried,
There
man.
you
I
go.
tried.
I know.
Hey Tyler, before I know we're talking baseball, but before I let you go, man, I gotta ask you, man, what's your feeling after Monday morning after that Eagles game, man? Because we're talking football in the next segment. I gotta hear you before we take a break. What do you think, man?
I am becoming increasingly fed up with Nick Sirianni. He
Just
single-handedly lost the last week's game. I don't care what you run a play action on 3rd and 3 with Saquon in the backfield. Yeah, let's run a play action. You just gave the Falcons an extra 40 seconds. And then yesterday, it's a low-scoring game, and you leave 6 points on the board. And allegedly, it came out today that he's been controlling the offense a little bit. And credit to you, because you've been saying it too, that it just does not look like a Kellen Moore offense. Like there's flashes of it, but there's so many Sirianni plays. There's the bubble screens. And Britton Covey's going to be out for a little bit now because of that. He got hit hard on his shoulder, and he was out for the game, and he's probably going to be out for a little bit. So now you lose your return guy. Devontae Smith concussion. You don't even know if he's going to be in next week. AJ's out. But win is a win. But it reminds me of last year. It wasn't a pretty win. Like there's just things that are not going to get you through the playoffs. So Nick Sirianni really needs to step it up. And I'm a little concerned with Jalen Hurts. So that's my 2 main takeaways.
I agree. I didn't want Nick back. I still don't want Nick here. I think he's a terrible coach. And I continue to say it. Everything he's doing right now, the undisciplined players that he has. Okay, I'm going to get into that in the second hour. Jalen Carter, I don't care how much of a beast he was, but that dude's a problem. He's in Ndamukong Suh version 2.0. You're going to have a major problem on your hands. Okay? Listen, CJ Carter Johnson, get the hell off of social media. Okay? I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. Bro, you get paid how much? I don't want to hear about keeping receipts. I don't want to hear about you going back and forth with a fan base. It's old. It's tired, man. Just go out and play the damn game. Even though last time I checked, he got burnt by Chris Olave. Okay, on that touchdown. Smoke, but he's in there talking on Twitter. Like, you got on a game instead of talking with your teammates, you're on Twitter. Like, get off, man. Like, I can't take it. Like, and that's all Sirianni.
That also tells you a little bit about their mindset as humans.
Yep.
And what they can and can't take.
Or what's important to them,
what they're watching,
right?
That's right.
What's important to them, learning the game or getting on social media?
I wonder what other people are thinking.
Call me old, I don't give a shit, but that's got to stop. And that is Nick Sirianni, undisciplined player.
I don't think
Nick Sirianni. What else does he have to do?
Discipline is absolutely the head coach,
and that's
100%.
And what were we
7
told?
Penalties for 45 yards, by the way.
Jesus
7
Christ.
penalties.
The penalties, the special team, like I'm sorry, man. Again, and it just and what else do you expect when you see him acting like a cartoon character there on the sidelines, going crazy? Like, I get you get happy, a little over the top though. And what is your team going to do? Right,
most of the season, he's kind of hemmed it down a little bit.
I can't. I'm gonna blow a freaking blood vessel tonight. I'm so distraught with that team. That team
is. What about him not talking to the team last week after the Falcons loss?
Yep.
He's like, oh yeah, Jalen just nailed it. He said everything I needed to say. You're the head coach of the team. Say something. Like, that's ridiculous that you're not saying anything. Oh, because your quarterback said what you needed to say. Yeah, that's fine. Are you kidding me? No.
You know what?
You got to talk to your team as a coach.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but sometimes think of the profession they're in. They get to sit there. Imagine if every single time, I've always wanted to say this to people who have said this on the radio. I can't wait to say this. I swear to God, I've waited for this moment for 25 years. Every time we're sitting there, you get done your day of work. I'm going to come sit at your dinner table, and I'm going to tell you everything you did wrong today at work.
Okay.
And I'm going to just say, you know what? You stink at this. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then, just let you go off about your night. I mean, it's kind of like, we're just constantly browbeating, and kind of, it's just.
Nothing's changed though, Frank.
No.
That's why. Like, we can say what we want, but we come into the same exact product. And if you listen to the radio all day today, all you heard was excuse after excuse. Oh, well, we didn't have this player. We didn't have, you know who won a football game? No one won a football game too with nobody? Bo Nix. Bo freaking Nix won a game, right?
Andy
Dalton. Right? Andy Dalton. Sam Darnold.
I love me some red rifle, bro.
Right? I can't do it, man. I can't do it. So we're gonna talk about that in a second. Now, Tyler, man, my man, as always, doing great things. Appreciate everything. Enjoy the game tonight. We're gonna go take a break. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes, and we're getting ready for Monday Night Football. We got a double header. We got some Eagles talk. We got some bets to lay on that too,
we
man.
better talk birds.
Yeah, we're talking birds when we come back, man.
Jesus
So we'll be back in
Christmas.
5. Tyler, talk to you next
Tyler,
time,
see
and
you,
everybody will
brother.
be back.
Guys, good luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, babe.
right here live from Pike's Pub right here, Southampton, PA 455 2nd Street Pike, right sandwiched across the street by Angelo's, by Mount Fuji, by Southampton Beverage. Come check us out. My man Adam here, he's showing some chicken fingers, man. Chicken fingers are legit. Got some wings, got a bunch of specials going on right now. We got JT who just hit a nice home run and rang the bell for us. And that's strikeout number 3 for Aaron Nola. So we only need 2 more, but we got a lot of football talk in a second. I want to give a shout out to my man Tyler Mraz, who was checking in, did a fantastic job. Always does a great job for us here at Heat Ratio Sports. Make sure you're following Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats that you're liking and subscribing to YouTube show, because that's where we're at, man. We're here every Monday night from 6 to 9, and we're talking Phillies. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Monday Night Football. Tyler says, my man crush Monday. JT did it for you. So yeah, I got the man crush going on. You know that. Him and Cassie, they are my man crush guys. So I'm going to continue to be there. So let's see. Oh man, he's got the curveball working tonight for Aaron Noel. But we want to get into some Eagles talk here, and also some doubleheader talk. So if you are an NFL fan, we got a really good listen. You can say what you want, but any good football is good football, in my opinion. When you're talking about the Bills and the Jaguars, now you got the Commanders and the Bengals. What a play by Alec Boehm. Did he stay on? That's a great play by Alec Boehm. That's a great play by Alec Boehm. Listen, that dude has come such a long way. So nice play there by Alec Boehm. But yeah, so I listen, I don't know who I'm betting on for the game personally, but players, man, I do like Keon Clark a lot, or Keon Coleman a lot tonight. I know his over and a half was 3.5 for catches, his over 35.5 for his yards, and his anytime touchdown prop. So I am in on Keon Coleman tonight. So I'm very curious to see what happens. And I'm in on our boy Zach Ertz. And our boy Zach Ertz out there for the Washington Commanders. He continues to just stand the test of time and be that consistent target for Jaden Daniels. Now, we got to rehash what happened yesterday, man. We got a little Eagles talk going on. And I kind of prefaced by, I set us up with Tyler. I got a lot of emotion on Facebook with this question and talking about, how you feel about the Eagles right now. What do you feel? Is there any such thing as a good or a bad win? Again, Tyler checking in says Christian Kirk, big game. I'll tell you what, man. He says Bill's slot. Wow. Johan Rojas making up a nice play, making up for that shitty at bat. Comes back with the glove. That's what we want. And he's going stride for stride, too. Stride for stride. It's a nice catch, man. That's a nice catch out. Tyler says Christian Kirk, big game. Bill slot corner is out. I didn't know that. And it's only a matter of time until T-Law starts finding him. T-Law, one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. So we're going to see what he does tonight. But talking about the Eagles game, and I've asked this earlier. I want to continue to ask it. Frank's back. We got Frank Grewbs here on the mic. Check it. He loves the football talk. Look at the smile. Look at your smile. You're cheesing already. Look at you. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
There you go. Now
there he is.
You're cheesing already. All right, this football talk, man. I asked a question. Check in if you're on social media, or you're on Facebook, you're on X, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, wherever you're at, tuning into this show right here live from Pike's Pub. Hey, I want to know who are you blaming for this lethargic offense? Is it Jalen Hurts or is it Nick Sirianni? What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, it's not Nick Sirianni. It's not. And the ramblings of him having his footprints on this recently, more so than we've heard in the past, I don't know where they're coming from. And I tend to take them with a grain of salt. Okay. Kellen Clemens came here to implement his offense. All right. And if you are, and what we think, we have a good football coach, maybe a little corny at times to your liking.
Okay.
But overall, good football coach. 3 years, 3 playoff appearances. Okay. Brought a guy here, new defensive coordinators. They're doing their own thing. Not to the extent where he's not sitting in meetings. And look, he's an offensive guy. As a head coach, if you're an offensive guy, you're going to have input on the offense. Okay. That's your guy. Yes, you brought him here for freshness, to bring a new offense that is designed differently to help the players that you have. put them in the best positions. You always hear this to make plays.
Andy Reid.
Sure. And it was as much as we hated here, maybe we should go have a ham sandwich. But that was his thing at the end of the interview. But no, I mean, Kellen Moore, this is his offense. And there might be a few things here and there. The only thing that he could have a big say in is, listen, throw the ball here. Okay. A guy maybe wants to run a pass and he's saying, no, throw it. I mean, there's only a few things. That's like the only time a coach could really get over top or, listen, Andy, it sometimes was a coordinator would overrun overrule play, but it's not often. I mean, Kellen Moore's calling his plays. That's it. He's calling the plays. It's his offense.
So then it's Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
So are we?
Yes.
Here's what I'm struggling with, Frank. I'm gonna be honest with you,
It's
man.
Jalen.
I have to wonder, man.
I wish it wasn't.
The
I wish it wasn't.
excuses have to stop. I will say that the excuses have to stop. Right?
I'm with you.
Okay. So I don't want to hear about
I'm with you.
he didn't have this receiver. I don't want to hear about he didn't have this guy. I don't want to hear he didn't have Lane Johnson. He had Mekhi Becton. He didn't have this. He's got new coordinators.
Wait.
We need to stop.
You're getting a little crazy with saying like, he doesn't have that. We're making excuses. People who are watching him play, were watching him play as a quarterback, right? If you are someone of a fan of football to a bigger degree, you're watching that person play specifically, and you might not watch at the end where.
Is that a swore bomb? Hey, look what I say, man. It's a swore bomb, man. It is a swore bomb. Look, we got the bell right here, man. So we got a swore bomb, man. Wow. That means I got the RBI. Well, I tell you, big guys step up in big moments, man. Big guys step up. See, this is what happens, man. Love it, man. I love it.
Swing, man.
I love it. I want to play that bell so bad tonight. Missed it on JT.
Ball?
Got it. He was square up. Squared up on that ball, man.
He hit that up in the air. Down the line. That's a deuce.
That's a double. That's a double. So look, we just hit two legs of the four leg SGP right there because we got a hit from Turner and it counts the RBI because he hit a home run for Schwarber.
Okay, well there you go. You got one more leg to hit, right?
Yeah. Well, we got two strikeouts for Nola that we got to get. What
was that number? It was 5.
Yeah, 5.
You put that in 5.
Yeah, 5. But get back to your.
You're gonna get that.
So real fast because again, obviously this is because we're gonna be back and forth because this is important, man.
Sirianni's gonna have a little.
Philly's going to lead this show right here.
That's fine. Let's go. Okay, what do you want to talk?
No, I'm just saying as we're talking, we got to keep an eye on this game.
This is perfect.
But
we said this with Tyler earlier. We needed this.
Yes,
he felt this.
Yes.
Bam.
Oof.
That was the one.
Man, I'll tell you, man. He's going to lock on one here, bro.
He just said
he's locking on one here.
That was the one.
You think that was it?
Yeah.
I think he's going to get it. This pitcher stinks.
Yeah.
He's going to get it again. Watch. This dude's got no location.
He can make it
whatsoever. 0. No location.
Yo.
Oh, he just missed it, bro. Just missed it.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But
just a bit.
So before you even explain, I have this question. Because I want to know why it's okay for other quarterbacks to fight through, all these issues, but it's not okay for Hurts.
Do you not think every NFL quarterback fandom in the world is not saying the same damn thing about their quarterback right now?
No.
Half of them. What do you think Dallas is saying about Dak?
Oh, that's obvious.
What do you think Jacksonville's saying about
That's
Trevor?
obvious.
Well, come on.
But if you follow, here's a big difference though.
Pittsburgh?
If you follow that fan base,
so Sam Darnold, he lucked out.
No, but if you follow the fan base, you look at Jacksonville. They didn't want to pay him the money.
Kirk Cousins, what are they saying about him?
They didn't want to pay him the money.
I know, but what are they saying about him right now?
Well, Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles.
So think about it. At least 16 to 20 of the other quarterbacks in the NFL are under scrutiny consistently at all times. And you hold one of the 32 most prestigious jobs in the history of the world. But maybe
and that's accountability, though.
I didn't mean you were prestigious, but
no, that's okay.
I get it. One of the fewest, hardest to attain. But it's not. It's Hurts. He cannot read his own defense.
That's a problem.
He can't read he struggles. And I look at it. And who am I? I'm just a 51-year-old wash-up has-been dude, right? And I'm watching, and I'm like, all right, it's cover 2. All right, they're showing blitz here on the right. Okay, now they're showing like heavy blitz on the right. Okay, I'm thinking hot route, throw it to the right. And then what does he do? They blitz from there, and he sits and waits and floats left, and then nothing happens. I think he was either sacked or was an incomplete pass. But you see blitz, you see heavy blitz. You're throwing your hot route is to the blitz. You're throwing where they're blitzing from.
Yep.
So if they're blitzing from here and they're bringing people from where I see it and it's evident, which it was evident, you throw the ball to that guy. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
Well, it's obviously not that simple because you can't do it.
No, but that's your first point that's your first eye contact at snap at a ball. When you see those guys in those positions and you think there's a blitz coming from that spot, the number one receiver, but you're going to get eyes on where the blitz is coming from. And that's that. Or you're going to call the blitz at the line of scrimmage. You're going to call the hot route at the line of scrimmage. And if the hot route's not there and they don't blitz, well, then you go back to your number one. But, I mean, this was a cover 2. This was like a basic. They just fancied it up a little bit.
Well,
now you get man-to-man coverage. He's awesome. He's absolutely He's awesome.
Okay.
He throws guys open at times, which means they could be within a half a step and the guy's all over him, and he'll put the ball away from he'll put it on the outside of the receiver's body away from the defender. So he's a different quarterback when it's man. He cannot get to his drop, get through his first and second and get rid of the ball. He's constantly, if you sit and time his drops and how long he spends back there, a normal, let's say a Steve Young or Joe Montana, or I know I'm getting crazy, or Tom Brady, one of those guys would have gone through 5 reads, 5 in the amount of time that he sits there and goes through 1, 2, 3.
And that's where the turnover problem comes.
And then you start yelling at the offensive lineman, right? It's just, he holds the ball too long.
Yes.
He is not as, I thought he was more intelligent. Look at you doing a 2-step.
Oh God, see that?
He's
going to a Diddy party too.
He just did. That's not. He just did the 2-step.
I love it, man. I love it.
Microphone's right there, Bri. Go ahead. Right there. Say hi.
You got something to say, man?
Right there, Bri. Right there.
Uh-oh. Look, we're on. We're live. Yeah, right there, buddy. What we got?
What do you got, Bri?
All right, now there's a couple calls that should have been. It's definitely on Nick. He needs to make some different calls, certain opportunities in a football game.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got to make better decisions, Bri. I agree.
There were some horrible calls. I mean, not necessarily. I need you to take the points, yes.
Yeah,
I want you to be aggressive, yes. But you need to take the points in certain circumstances, and you need to just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He gets a little excited.
Like that fake tush push. What the hell was that?
Oh, my God.
That was a brutal play call.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a brutal play call.
It was my
best kicker in the other.
Literally, listen to me. My wife.
I don't want you to. Now you made any decisions in your career, Nick. You need to go forward now, and you got to make these hard decisions again.
100%.
And there will be someone that will be hard again.
Yep.
And
Saquon Barkley.
You said it well, Bri.
You fucked up these two.
Easy, Tiger. All right.
I love it. Yo, man. Have a great night, my man. I love it. He's right, though, man. He's 100% correct. 100% correct. My man Rick checking in. He says, Bri sounds like he's enjoying happy hour. Absolutely. My man was definitely enjoying happy hour. You never know we're going to get here at Pike's Pub, man. You always have some fun. But listen, man. He's so right. He's so right. Sirianni has cost his team points in every game. Rich,
Dude, I don't know how I held that together while he was
100%.
standing in front of me.
I loved it, man. I love it. You know what? It's raw,
Awesome, dude.
right? It's raw. It's just raw personality.
He's funny,
and you can tell, even though
he felt the passion.
Yes.
He was passionate.
100%. Now I got to read a couple of these Facebook posts, which is pretty good. So I put a poll out there. So Albert checking in says Nick has to go. Would love Bill Belichick. Hope he goes somewhere before the Cowboys grab him, right? So he's already predicting that Mike McCarthy's going to be out. Now, Rich checks in earlier, says
he's not going to Dallas.
No, he needs to be here.
He can't work with Jerry.
He needs to be here, by the way. But
he can't work with Jerry Jones.
Rich says he cost his team points in every game and has multiple bad decisions in each game. Sirianni can't blame calling plays distracting him from head coaching, since supposedly more is a change of play calling. The last game left 2 field goals off the board. Then he and Elliott try a 60-yarder in a tight game. His logic doesn't have any rhyme or reason. I love that point.
There's consistent rhyme or reason, and it's consistently the wrong rhyme.
It's the wrong rhyme.
It's
like a bad rapper.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a bad rapper. We're not talking about De La Soul. It's like it's a very bad rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Oh.
Very frustrating.
But
so let me answer this though, real fast, because it's on my head. We're both real quick thinkers here.
We are,
so
at times,
what another reason why I think Nick is unfit to be a head coach? Did you see after they scored that touchdown? Now, before they scored a touchdown to go ahead, they already should have in their mind what they're doing. They going for 2, they kick him, right? Everybody was confused. They had no idea what the hell they were doing. None. Why?
If there was confusion, it should have been a half of a second.
But you see them all looking at each other. People are running off the field. They're not sure what they do. Like, bro, what do you do? You only have to control one thing now.
You hold up your hand. It's 1 or 2.
That's
it.
Very simple.
You hold up 1 or you
very
hold up
simple.
2.
Very simple. And this is why I continue to say this is a problem, right? Continue to say this is a problem.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't think he's getting in the way of our offense being better. I don't think he's getting in.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
I think ultimately he's letting the coordinators do their thing. I really do. Offensively, like I said, as a coordinator myself, if I became a head coach and I hired a coordinator, you're going to run everything. I'm like, great, okay. Well, these are some plays I'd like you to implement into the offense, because I would certainly have a few of my own that I thought were just plays, no matter what day, age, or type of football would be successful plays to run, right? Maybe
nothing wrong with that.
There might be a sprinkle of stuff in there.
Yep.
But he's letting Vic do his thing on defense. It's not like he's over there in those meetings. Well, he probably is here and there. Step in and say hi. I don't know how Belichick used to handle those, but I know a lot of these head coaches will go into these meetings. But I mean, I'm Jalen. I'm concerned about Jalen. But
let's have that conversation.
Okay, but listen, as we go down this road, we had 2 starting offensive linemen go out of the game early.
Okay.
Early. Your right tackle.
Right. Was your heartbeat of your offensive line.
Your right tackle.
Lane Johnson.
And then who?
Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton. Same side.
Right guard, right tackle.
Same side.
Okay.
That on the run is really hard to do successfully. Okay. At that level.
Okay.
More so than any below rather. 1 at a time is okay, because you still got that guy next to you who that's his spot every second, right? So this comes down to preparation, and those guys stepped in there and they played their asses off.
They did,
dude.
They played Frank Thomas.
Yes,
he played his ass off at right tackle.
Yes, he did. And there was about 5 the first series that they each played, because I think they each came on a series after each other. Yep. I think it was Lane got hurt. He played, then his replacement played one, and then the next. But they played. But Johnson, man, he played so well. He had a PFF of 64.9, which is better than average. Remember, when we go PFF, 60 is average.
Yep.
Right. He looked really good. And then Tyler Steen, he had a PFF of almost 80.
Wow.
almost 80, dude. These guys were moving, they were pulling, they were fundamentally sound, keeping a clean pocket. That's why we all get pissed off when we see him sitting there looking, and then all of a sudden, where's he going?
But here's my issue,
they
though.
blocked for him so well.
Right.
He had a clean pocket so many times. Now you look at his statistics and you're like, okay, he had a pretty damn good game. And he did. He was 29 for 38, 280 yards, 1 pick. Where was that pick? Excuse me. Where was that interception?
Where was it?
In the end zone.
Bad.
Right.
Can't happen.
And guess why it happened?
What?
As a pro quarterback. Gosh dang it. He stared the guy down.
Locked in.
He stared
Locked in.
him down. I don't get it. Again, good old washed up old man. I go play flag out there. I'm not going to stare down a cover 2 seam route or a post. I'm going to look him off. I'm going to come back that way. I'm going to move the linebacker. He just doesn't know how to do. When he sees his own, he struggles, man. It frustrates me because I believe the man's pretty damn intelligent. I just think he has a mental block with a basic zone defense and where to go with the football. And I really don't understand. But these offensive linemen, back to the point, these guys coming in and filling in with the quality reps that they had, Tony. The quality reps makes me definitely a lot happier, more comfortable about us having the depth that we lacked or thought we would lack when we lost what we did. Okay. So I definitely feel better about our offensive line and where we are as a whole unit from first, second, third string teams. But
well, hold on. I want to stay on that because this is what bothers me.
There's a bunch on offense.
Okay.
We keep touching on.
What you just said is why number one, why some people shouldn't be allowed to talk on the radio. Okay. So, because when you think about it, all I heard 90% of the day was the reason why Jalen looked so bad was he was missing 2 key components of his offensive line.
No.
So here's the hypocritical argument. Okay.
No, it's not it.
Oh, if that's the case, then why did they grade out so goddamn well? So if they graded out well, which means he shouldn't have a problem.
Correct.
Right? That just means you're just trying. Again, people, the fabrication of arguments is ridiculous. There we are again. You don't even know what you're talking about.
He had a clean pocket, man.
Yes.
So many times, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I was laughing because Brian checked in a second ago on the mic. We had our
Brian was rolling.
He was
Brian was rolling, man.
Happy hour.
Yeah, happy hour,
Brian. But the wife happened to walk into the room as I was sitting there watching that happen, and I'm like, what? I kind of lost my shit for a second. And she's like, what? And she knows the game.
She's smart.
Right? She knows the game.
She watches.
She's like, what's wrong with them?
See? She's like, what's going on here?
I'm like, babe, could you tell them for us?
Yep.
But it's gosh, it's tough, but. You got Saquon doing his thing. We blocked up front. Look at his rushing,
bro. Again, though,
so no one could blame
one carry in the first half. One carry in the first half,
and it wasn't until like 10 minutes of the second quarter.
What the hell is that?
What is it? That's Kellen Moore, not Nick Sirianni. So no one's talking about that part, though. Right?
Are we sure it's
everybody?
Kellen?
I
don't know, man.
Tony,
I don't know.
Look at me.
What?
It's Kellen Moore.
Okay. You must have the inside track.
There's no inside track. He's the offensive coordinator. He's up there calling the plays.
You're right,
but all Nick's gonna do is
Mm.
sway him one way or the other. If he has a real strong feeling about something, he says, throw the ball.
Okay.
That's it. He's not gonna just call a play.
So wait a minute.
Unless it's something they spoke about that week specifically.
Listen, I'll give you your props. You want to be
Telling
right? That's
fine.
fine.
I'm tired of being nice around here.
No, that's fine. But
That's it.
I'm going to play devil's advocate
pushing
here.
you off your
Okay.
stool.
No, that's fine.
That's it.
I'll play devil's advocate.
I'm
So
gonna pull
if
my
that's the
boom over
case,
and
if he
get
does
closer.
have a little bit,
People need more piece of Kellen then.
moxie, right? A little bit. Then don't you think that he might say, you know what, Kellen? Why are we not rushing the ball?
Are you that? Did you do this just for?
No, I'm
radio?
serious.
Is this just radio stuff?
No, not at all.
What do you mean?
Because that's like he's thinking about. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make he can't do both things.
Situational moments that we see that upset us with down and distance, right? Is Nick Sirianni. Play calls are Kellen Moore. That's it. Now, will you collaborate on a play call if Kellen says down in their headphones, they're all listening, yo, I'm like this right here, and his eyes on the ground or his eyes on the sky somewhere else said, you run X, Y, X squared over I run, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I like it. Yeah, I like it. Run it. Or no, what does he think about this? Real quick. Boom, and he'll spit out a play. And then I'm like, yeah, we don't. Okay, maybe they like it, maybe they don't. But in that, that's going through a headset. Ding, 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 ding. Back and forth.
But again, though,
but it's rare. It's rare that many
couple series.
It's rare that many people will talk.
Now, Rick says, look, Rick's checking
like
in. He says Nick came out and said
it depends on the
that
coach
he's helping in calling the plays.
How many people will let earphones? What's that?
How many people are calling a play?
There's only one. There's only one person calling the plays.
Nick came out and said, I'm helping out in calling the plays. He's already admitted as such. So right now you have
that's him clinging for maybe. Come on.
Oh, you think he's playing I'm a stick up for Kellen Moore card?
No, or he's. I'm telling you right now, in the middle of that game, Kellen Moore is calling those plays because as a play caller, you get into a groove. I'm telling you, he said that in a way that was meant to be subliminally, like I have a small fraction of what I say helps and goes. It's not very often that two people are calling the plays and it's successful at any level.
That's true.
Just being honest with you.
He says, Rich says he had Dotson open in the red zone, interception against the Saints. Red zone decisions have been terrible. Cam Jurgens only has 2 pressures and none under 2.5 seconds. Problem is it's a passing league, and this team refuses to play that grind out running game. Listen.
I mean,
I don't disagree with that.
We're rushing attacks in the top 10 already right now.
But that's a lot of that is skewed, man.
Well,
right? Because it's going by yardage and he's getting big chunks. So it's not by usage, it's by yardage.
All right. So are we going to say that about the quarterback that throws that 6-yard pass that's a 75-yard touchdown? I mean, come on.
I would.
But we can't because it all evens out in the end.
Yeah,
it all evens out. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It all evens out.
Rushing's a little different, I think. Rushing is a little different. I do think that.
We all agree, and whoever that was. Who was that to check
That's
in?
Richie D.
Richie. I agree, brother. We
not Brian, Richie.
Richie.
I know.
Richie Brian. We could probably hear Richie and understand him.
Yeah, you're Rich.
Richie, we could probably hear him a little clearer. We could. But no, I agree. Absolutely have to run the football, man. I mean, 1 carry, right? We said
1 carry.
So, yeah, Richie, we got to run the ball. My thing is minimum for your main back, whoever in any offense. This would be me as a coach. Your main back's got to get. See, Chris, your main back's got to get 20 carries, and you got to
especially the main back that you're paying $30 million. So.
And you got to mix 7 to 10 more in. If you can, 7 to 10. 10's a little healthy. 5 to 7's more realistic. 25, 27 carries a game as a running game. That's what you want to have. But he got close. I'm feeding Barkley, and I certainly am not waiting till the goddamn second quarter.
Yeah, that's
to hand on the football. That is Kellen Moore.
That's weird, man. I don't understand it.
And if Nick Sirianni and like you and I and the rest of us are saying, why the hell are we not running the football? If he's part of calling the goddamn plays, why doesn't he just say, let's start running the football?
Yo, bro, you're a little touchy. Like,
there you go.
That's that Diddy stuff again.
Oh,
Jason says,
don't do that to me.
I wonder how much of the shots he's even calling. Did he pick his coordinators? I'm not defending him, but he seems like a figurehead that will end up being the fall guy if the team underachieves this season.
Of course he will be.
Yeah, but I like that comment. I think it's true.
Yeah.
The figurehead, I think he's got that ego. He can't get away from that ego, man. He can't get away from that ego.
He's young. He likes the ego part of it. I think, what's funny? I've sat and I've tried to put myself in his shoes. How old is he? 40 something, 46, 40 something like that.
You put in his bank account too?
No, I just like to sit and think, how would you feel being that young and being the coach of an NFL football team? And then from all the years of you being an assistant and how you were rounded into the coach that you were, like what version of the coach that you were growing to become that are you going to be as a head coach? I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
how
it
I
does
just
make
said that.
sense. No, yeah.
Because there's parts of my coaching career where I was, a crazy psychopath, and there's other
Me
parts
too.
where I was, really light and lighthearted and changed completely. And then there was the one that was in the middle, and it was like, okay, well, which one is it? And it seems like doesn't really have any. He's kind of up and down, but his excitement it's a little above what we're normally seeing, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I think we all know.
But is
that
it really that bad to have personality? I mean, does it hurt your players?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
Okay, so hear me out for a second.
Okay.
Before you start patting me on the back again. So
you are really. Are you?
So listen.
Okay.
So you had two instances, right, in that game.
Watch this, guys.
Come on, man. Like,
go ahead.
I'm not Justin Bieber, but so listen. You have Jalen Carter. I don't care how good of a game he played. Okay, Jalen Carter doesn't know how to control himself. Hold on,
that's a little
right. It's not, because he's getting the same kind of craziness that Nick Sirianni is doing. He's yelling at the other coach on the other sideline. He's yelling at the other players, and he shouldn't be doing that, but he's doing it. And he's showing those young guys it's okay. Then you have CJ Gardner-Johnson that's popping off the same damn way. That's a reflection on your coach. It's different if you're giving high fives and you're giving chest bumps. Like Deshaun Jackson gave a little chest bump to Andy Reid. Like, it was cool, right? It was funny, but Andy Reid's not calling out the coach on the other sideline. And so that's the problem. You cannot have that example with these young guys who obviously aren't all witted up top when it comes to maturity. So that's a problem to me. I'm sorry.
I mean, you read the type of player that's going to say something like that as a player to a coach, or not. I mean, some of these guys are either like that player or they're not that player. Now, yeah, could his behavior make it easier for them to feel that it's warranted or okay to do? I mean, I guess, but these are grown men. I mean, like, him saying that isn't going to make some other grown man turn around and say, oh, well, I want to do that too because he's doing it. You know what I mean? They're grown men. They're going to act how they act.
No, it's not that. They're going to say it's okay.
Now,
it's accepted.
Okay, so
it's accepted.
So that
right
certainly could be to your extent. Your major point is, yes, is that the way he wants to be? And yes, another coach, Belichick, wouldn't have that happen.
No, he wouldn't. And that's why I want Bill.
Okay, but then the guy's going to play so tight that they couldn't fit it.
Listen, I think here's the problem. The only way that we're going to know what this team really is under a different head coach.
Oh,
I really do feel that way. I do, and I think,
we are there now, though.
We are,
because like if we don't go past where we did last year, and that's that. We have to win a game, but is winning a game enough even?
No, you got to go more than winning a game.
Because the year before, the
expectations
Super Bowl
are a lot higher.
The Super Bowl,
yes.
Super Bowl,
yes,
or bust, technically, right?
I don't know if it's just Super Bowl or bust, but yeah, you have to get there. This team is built.
We might take a conference championship. Like, okay, well, we're still right there, right now. We're that the Niners of the late '90s versus the Cowboys, probably. But this is such a tough sport to constantly win like that, man.
No, it is.
And to find these coaches and there's the day and the age and the players and how everybody acts is so different. The coaches have to be different than they've ever been. When you get these old school guys, who knows how, Andy Reid, he did a 180 in how he coached in terms of how he started dealing with the players. In terms of the day and age, he rolled and continued to learn the new things that were going on.
Yes, he did.
Right, digitally.
Yes.
I mean, that had a huge part in it. He was a part of it all. He doing commercials. I mean, you have to be different as a coach today than you've ever been before. And some of these guys can't do it, and you get put into that limelight. But no, he's definitely not calling the plays on the offense.
Richie D says Sirianni stays if they lose a close game in the NFC chip, but if it falls apart and he gets blown apart in a playoff game, he's gone.
Now he's getting all crazy specific.
Nah, well, here's the thing, man. I said he ain't making it past week 8. I said this before the season even started.
But
I said it before the season even started because I'm telling you, this team is there's a lot of issues. Let me say this though.
I don't think Jeff's going to fire someone.
Listen, he spent a lot of money on his team. Okay,
at least he can field the ball and throw it to first.
Oh, I like
because
that.
he certainly can't hit the damn thing.
Who, Alpo?
Yeah.
What's wrong with him now?
He's hitting like 211.
212, you said? 212 over his last 10?
Like,
remember, he came back from that wrist injury.
He's got great hair, though, bro.
He does got great hair.
I am jealous of his hair.
I don't know if I'm jealous of it because it's a lot of work.
Stop.
It's a lot of work to have to do the hair.
Your boy had
by the way,
curls back in the day.
But
dude, I had a king mullet.
I did have
mullet, dude. I had a mullet that wouldn't quit.
I had what did they call it back in the day? I had a perm, but it was a body wave. I had the Jason Priestley, Luke Perry look.
The rat.
Remember that?
The rat. Back down.
But listen, here's the way I look at this, and
there's
a lot of people were talking about.
He just threw
hung that curveball.
He got it. We got it.
Rojas with another great play.
Yeah, it was average.
That's not average, man.
No, stop. That wasn't.
That's not average. Stop hating on Rojas. Listen, let me ask you this.
Yes.
And I want to ask everybody this because this is what bothers me. So
we're
here. Hold on.
I'm waiting for Tommy and Pat. Tommy and Pat down there. Patty. I guess they can't hear us. I was hoping Tommy had something to come up here with earlier. I was hoping he'd come.
Was it something good? Well, here's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm looking at everybody saying, oh, "Man, we pulled it out, man. We pulled it out. Yeah, our defense. Man, this defense is a top 5 defense. It's great." Blah, 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 blah. You know what's fantastic about that? Nothing. Because what I say is we're not supposed to win that way. This team is not built to win that way. Okay. And they cannot sustain the ability to win that way. So let's stop talking about that. Let's stop figuring.
What way?
Well, what I mean is,
understand that
you're
way.
not going to win games 15-12 every week. You're not going to win games 10-7 every week. This is not that kind of league, man. You have to figure out what the hell is going on the offensive side of the ball if we're going to have a chance. So I'm just tired of people making excuses and say, well, we won the game. We won. It doesn't matter. Right now, I'm sorry.
Are you mad at the defense too?
No, what I'm saying is it's non-sustainable. It's unsustainable, in my opinion.
Because it doesn't happen often, right? However, we saw low-scoring games early in a bunch of games. With teams that were supposed to be top 5 offenses? No.
Okay, so that's the point.
Excuse me. No, but I mean, listen. We have a defense that can really help us at this point. We're finally. I don't know what took everybody talking smack about our D line and those guys for them to finally play.
I don't think that's it.
All right,
I think they took us lightly.
No. I mean, I'm talking about our own guys. I'm talking.
Me too.
Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis.
Finally.
Okay, listen. They floated their whole damn career, and they. I'm never going to say they didn't give 100%. I'm sure they did, but they made it to the cream of the crop with probably the least of effort you'd have to do it to get there. Listen, people, don't think I'm saying they didn't put in hard work to get where they are. Of course they did, right? But they weren't the Peyton Manning staying 25 minutes after every practice.
No.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
Hell
right?
no.
Their natural ability and the greatest efforts they could give during the structured moments they could do to be a football player, they did it. But never had they ever had, let me just say, their manhood, right, challenge. Because we're like, these guys can't stop the run. We're down the line. Is that fair ball?
Oh, he's getting a double. That's a double for Bryce. There's a double for Bryce. There we go. I like it.
And we do a little stand up.
I like it.
Double.
Now your boy Bohm's going to come up and knock him in.
Watch this. Fucking roll.
Yo, Bry.
I held it back.
Hold on.
And meanwhile, you're the one telling me week number 1 here. Hey, you could say whatever you want here, buddy.
I don't remember that.
You said there's no.
I must have been drinking too many teas.
Yeah,
But this is what I mean. Rich says this team was built to win over 30 points a game. This defense isn't going to play lockdown every week. They need the win with scoring points. And 1 week out of 3 Saints looked at the tape and said, we can roll and walk out below the Eagles out. They overlooked. That's the only reason why.
Kamara, you ready? 26
Yes.
carries, 87 yards. Why? Our front four. Period. End of story. Just like even though we didn't like how Jalen did well, did his thing. He still had time to throw. He still threw for 286 yards. We still ran the football for 150 some odd yards. I mean, we did what we could do based upon the game that was presented to us at the moments we did them. We held Kamala to
Kamala or Kamara? You saw too many political commercials.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. Jeez. If my boys heard me say that,
I know where they at.
We're like, oh my God,
There,
bro.
where they at?
You might as well. Never mind. Jeez. Anyway, so no, for real. And we held him to just three catches for 40 yards, which that dude can go off catching the ball for 100 yards and run for 80, 70, 60, 80 and catch 100.
He's a stud. Absolute stud.
N'Kobe Dean, Zach Bond, they were all over the place. All over.
And
all
look,
over
Richie
the
D
place.
just checked in too.
Milton
Don't
Williams.
forget.
Milton
Bond
Williams.
and Dean have really good games.
That's bam. You just heard it.
You guys are right on point.
Swami. But yeah, he all over the place. Love it. Running around, reading people, man. It's fantastic. I heard Seth Joyner. I was listening to Seth the
Love
other.
Seth.
He was talking about linebackers, and he was using terms like Mike and Will and Sam. He was talking about the different linebackers.
Yep.
And he was talking about those guys looking at the uncovered lineman in front of them, right? Because as a linebacker, there's someone in front of you that's uncovered. And he was talking about reading their first step and how they take it to the play. And these guys do that to the best. They read, of course, your next look. So as a linebacker, you're looking through the uncovered lineman in front of you to the nearest running back.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of how that flows, and then to the quarterback, depending on the action. But I mean, these guys are reading everything really quick. They're getting over top of guys that usually would cut them off and block them, and it was nice to watch. And I mentioned Milton Williams. He played really well too.
I love Milton Williams.
There you go. Here's your stiff. This is your boy right here.
Who? Casty?
Bryson
Stott?
Yeah.
You know, let my daughter hear you say stiff, man. She's gonna fight you with that.
Dude, I love the guy. I'm sorry, honey. I love Bryson. I love Bryson, the guy. And I'd love
Milton Williams I love Milton Williams.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He
did well.
So Rich asked a question. He says, why is Devin White not even dressing for games? Now, I have an answer for that. Frank, you tell me if this is correct. Okay. And this isn't my answer, by the way. I want to say this is Tyrone Johnson's answer from 97.5 because he did mention this. And I thought about it. I was like, dude, I think he's right. Why is White not even getting dressed? Because he doesn't play special teams. And your backup linebackers on your team need to play special teams. So, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So he was saying they can't dress him.
Got him. They're in the center field.
Who's
in
that?
The center field.
Oh, what happened to Bryce?
Nice.
Stop.
Nice.
Love it, man. Love it. There's that game, man. 5-0.
How about it?
That's what we talked about. This is what we needed. This is how we clinch.
Tyler,
where's Tyler
where
at?
are you at, Tyler?
Tyler, he said
man.
blow him out.
He's probably half asleep by now.
But am I right about the linebacker? Or was Tyrone right when he said that?
What was the exact thing?
So the exact answer for him was he doesn't play
you
special
don't need
teams.
them all. You don't need every linebacker to play special teams. You
Okay.
can have one sit over there.
So
you can have one be bad boy over there in the corner.
why would you say he's not dressing?
And you can sit there. There's shit going on.
There's gotta be.
Whether usually, like if something happens, like in their personal life, they come out and they say, hey, like something's going on, and they kind of give us an inkling as to what's going on. He's going to take a leave of absence. It's personal. And when him and his family are ready to talk about it, they will, blah blah blah. Nothing. Yeah, dude. This guy, I'm surprised he's not released.
That's what I'm surprised at too.
I don't know why he's on the roster, but we're kind of stuck with what we did. I think obviously I don't know.
I was only a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but I don't know the specific. But he's not dressed. He's. Thanks for coming. Whatever you did, you messed up.
He messed up bad because this is a guy who we thought was going to come in and take over that middle.
Let me tell you something. You're playing for a pretty awesome owner based on all the men you hear speak about him.
Yep.
Right. And I hate to compare us to New England in any way, but
Robert Kraft.
But Robert Kraft is beloved. Right.
He had some good Diddy moments too, Robert Kraft.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's a legend.
I swear to God, it's like you keep me all the time for going to the dark side, but you constantly go to the dark side.
I do. I can't help it, man, because
my wife, me and my wife are going to unleash the dragon. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea. No, what the hell was I saying?
You were talking about Derek Devontae White. Or Devontae White. Devin White. Devontae. I'm thinking of Levante David.
And you're right. We combine them together. Either way. It's just something's whacked out.
Something happened between him and Vic.
Absolutely.
Just like you said. Something happened between him and Vic.
But why is nothing's been said?
Nothing.
It's like they're expecting it. And I guess there's got to be a question every day about.
Every day. And if you notice, he's kind of like playing the role like he's like, I'm here to help and here to help. You said you want to come here to prove that you were starting.
He was brought here to start.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Something happened.
Something definitely happened.
For sure.
Well, and I'm sure it's going to come to find out, man. It's going to come find out pretty soon. Something happened. It is going to come out real soon. And by the way, like Rich is saying, by the end of camp, he's supposedly injured, now not even dressing, wasn't asked to travel to Brazil, right? I mean, that was a telltale sign right there.
That's when I told you my inside hearing that
Stay home.
Had happened.
Stay home.
Yeah. Didn't even go. Don't even take the trip.
You think maybe possibly he charged up at Vic when Vic told me, by the way, N'Kobe's starting? Like think about that. Like something, I think something had to happen.
How awesome would that have been?
Yeah,
see that, right? Dude, watch that. That'd have been killer me in that room,
right?
Oh my God!
Because you see Vic, he don't care. He don't play.
Oh, he'd have thrown a right hook.
Yeah, he definitely don't play.
He'd have thrown a straight right.
That would have been Kevin Gilbride with Buddy Ryan all over again.
Such a shame. Buddy Ryan, the right hand he threw was so weak.
It was weak.
It was so weakest right hand.
It was, man. It was so bad.
It was like granddad right hand.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Oh man,
that's good. Let's speak on that. On that note, we're gonna take 5. Man. We're gonna take 5. We're gonna come back because we got some more football talk. We got Dave Glecker going to join us in about 10 minutes and tell us how hit 10,500 on Sunday Night Football game, man.
What does he have to share with you? Did you coach him to sign up?
No, man.
He did it on his own.
That's on his own. That's the Win Daily Sports model, bro. That's why you become a Win Daily Sports member.
Win Daily all day.
And you get that 50% off, man. You get $25 a month, gets you all the betting action that you need, man. So keep it locked in. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to have Dave Gleck. We're going to have some NFL. We're going to have some more. See if Nolan can get our 5th K and see if we can clinch this game.
You play Win Daily, and guess what? You win daily.
Oh, look, you win daily, you win big. We'll be back in 5. back right here for hour number 3. We're going to go about another 45 minutes from 9 o'clock. I was watch. Hopefully, the Phillies on the way to Clinch. And there's a nice hit by Johan Rojas going. Wow, Marsh really hustling there, getting it. This is going to be a good game. We're going to pop some bottles tonight in South Philadelphia. That's for damn sure. It's the Heat Ratio Sports Live show right here from Pike's Pub in Southampton, 455 2nd Street Pike. Still some time to get down here, man, and enjoy some food, enjoy these screens, and watch these Phillies clinch, man. We're going to be singing some fight songs, some Phillies fight songs, and ringing some bells. And we're going to be joined by a special guest pretty soon, and that is our boy Dave Gleckner, a friend of the program, my co-host on Sirius XM, which is awesome. Can't wait. Just texted me right now. Looks like he's looking for a code, which is cool. So he'll be in very, very shortly, which will be fun because my man hit 10,000 last week. So we're gonna hear about that. We're gonna recap week 3 in the NFL. Did we get the double play? That stinks. The double play stinks. That's okay. Still 6-0. Philadelphia Phillies, man. We're in. We are in. We got 13-0 right now. Buffalo Bills over Jacksonville. That guy that everybody keeps telling me that T-Law does not look too good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see if that is Dougie P or not. We got 8:15 games starting in about 30 seconds with the Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals. So we should see. Got some Zach Ertz love in that game right there. Got some Zach Ertz love. So we'll see what happens. We're talking about little Eagles, getting to those points. We got some more. I got a really good comment here I want to read by my man Jim. He's really heartfelt here, and I like it. And he's really, really heartfelt here. He says, Belichick's going to Dallas. Since we won't part with Sirianni, McCarthy is in big trouble. In baseball, they make coaching changes. In football, not so much. Take the points. Hard to play catch up all the time. Chasing points Sirianni is his new nickname. That's our man Jim, friend of the program. Man, I love it. I love when I get the comments. Really, really fun. Innings over. Trey Turner goes out. By the way, we need one leg to hit. We need Alec Boehm to come up in the next inning and get a hit. And then we smash our parlay. We're 3 out of 4 legs right now. Very, very easy. And again, when I say you bet the parlays that people know, make sure that you bet the single bets as well. So you come out ahead. A lot of interesting talk in week 3 around the NFL. We'd like to go around the NFL a little bit as we're watching this Phillies game because a lot of really good coaching that happened this week. We talked about, Matt LaFleur the week before. We talked about Mike Tomlin the week before. But I want to talk about Sean McVay taking it to Kyle Shanahan. Taking it to Kyle Shanahan. Right? I mean, literally taking it to the master, right? How was that, Frank?
That was fun.
How was that game?
That was fun to watch.
Right?
Yeah.
How about we give him a little love?
For sure. I mean, he's we don't talk about him as much, man. That guy, innovative, young, fresh, knows how to deal with the players, knows how to talk to the players, still instills what you're lacking from Sirianni, which is respect.
How about Moxie?
Right.
Maybe a little too much Moxie, right?
Too much, right? But no, great coach, man. Great exercise guy that loves the heritage of where the offense he runs comes from. He's running a derivative of the West Coast offense, basically.
Yes,
to a degree.
Yes, 100%.
It's fun to watch for sure, especially when they stick it on them like that.
Yeah, man. Listen,
just every time I see Kyle Shanahan's little face, I don't know. He just looks like he looks like the guy that gets caught and he's diming everybody out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Diving everybody out.
He just looks like the rat.
Offensive genius, by the way. 2 offensive geniuses going toe to toe, which was pretty cool. I love to see.
Prior.
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yeah, just a little bit. A little bit. That Kubiak. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
But who real fast before we bring our boy Dave in, let me ask you if I had one game, because obviously I see you got a little hyped up over the McVay. And any other game that stuck out as far as a really good strategic coaching job in week 3?
No, I mean, I don't think anything. I mean, these guys make these choices like it's in their back pocket. Like they know what they're going to do. They practice those situations every time. I don't know that anything stuck out that said to me, "Oh my God, we should say this or that was great coaching." I think you just saw teams that coaches that aren't getting their due yet are playing in a way that their coaches are empowering them to play, so to speak. So I think you're seeing some of these younger coaches are getting the respect of the rest of the league because they're getting guys to play the way they're supposed. I mean, you thought the Cardinals are dead and out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they're still playing. They're, there's no quit in that team.
Yeah, but
no matter what happened, though, I mean, it's just like you see these guys. It just seems like a lot of these younger coaches are starting to, they're getting the guys to play for them most of the time. You don't see anybody quitting on anybody.
Which is good. I don't like to see anybody quit, but one person, hey, quit. We're gonna bring our guy in here, man, because listen, we got to have some fun. It's our boy Dave Gleckner, as always, one of my co-hosts on Sirius XM, my man, fantasy sports and sports betting extraordinaire, Dave Gleckner. $10,000 ticket, brother. $10,000, man. Gotta throw it out there, bro. 10K. How did you do it, brother? How did you do it?
Hey, everyone gets not everyone, but you get lucky once in a while. I gotta tell you, Tony, I did. And we do this a lot, right? We're dialed in, we try and build the best lineups we can, but sometimes things don't go your way. It went my way that night, and that's what I mean by luck. I had to have the Jets defense outscored Alan Lazard. And in the last possession, Drake May's going down. If he puts up a touchdown, that knocks the Jets D backwards, right? So I'm sitting there swearing at the TV. They hold him off. They sack him on the last play. I go nuts. Yeah, it was a big takedown on a single entry, $5. Yeah, got lucky. But, yeah, man.
That's right. Just so everybody hears that. You $5 and you won 10,500.
Can I ask him a question? Was anybody there to share the moment with you?
Yeah. So great question. So my wife she woke up. She's like, "Oh, that's awesome." But the next morning, she's like, "Did I dream something? Did you win 10,000?" Like, I think she was up, but she wasn't really processing what was going on. I said, "Yeah, hon, you can get some. I got you.
That is awesome, man. That's all.
Yeah, go ahead. The days of Sirius, the days of Win Daily, Tony, you've been doing the fantasy firebox. It's more validation. That's all it is. But it's a little bit of fun too.
Well, I thought what I thought was funny about it is just knowing you. You're not the biggest Aaron Rodgers guy, and I see you're seeing your captain. I'm like, what's the odds of this, man? Because that's not your guy.
It's not. But it was one of those situations where I thought he was going to be a low-owned captain. He was coming off 2 really bad passing games, and New England, I thought could be had in the secondary. So I just thought everybody was going to go to Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and I thought it was a good pivot. So yeah, he's not my guy. You're right, but I tell you what, Aaron Rodgers, knowing that his career is almost at the twilight, I'm cheering for him a little bit. Like there's a little bit of
I like that.
Me too.
A little bit,
I like it. Just to fill you in real fast, Frank. Because I threw out there. I hope everybody takes the L. Okay, and what I mean by that is because me and Dave. Everybody knows. Again, we're talking to Dave Gleckner on the line. Dave Gleckner, Sirius XM, Win Daily Sports. Follow him at the GLOECK. Just hit a big money takedown. He does it all the time, but he got really good one here. And listen, we all summer long when we were doing our show on Sunday nights, I was touting, man, like. Saquon. Listen, don't give me Christian McCaffrey. You need to draft Saquon Barkley as your number 1 running back. And what happened, man? What happened?
I love it.
And Dave will tell you, I got Philly bias, even the producers. Oh, it's a lot of Philly love there for Saquon, man. Like, but Dave, what's happening, bro? It's amazing.
Yeah, you were screaming to the streets. I was on the don't draft C-Mac, and I was with you with Saquon as the top 3 back. But you were up there. You were up there. Saquon's the best, and I love it. And that's what usually happens. That's what people we're not here to tell you what the book says because they're going to be the safe way. We're going to give you some analysis. And Tony, you saw with him behind this offensive line is just, and what's been the key to Saquon's success so far this season? It's been the big runs. He's been able to chop off a couple big runs. We remember at Green Bay. We remember, obviously, the Saints game. That was enormous. Getting to that second level because he's got more room now. He's just been – he's the MVP of the team right now, right? You could even argue maybe MVP of the league, leading and rushing. So it's been everything they asked for, and boy, do they need it because, Tone, I want to be like you. This coach is a bumbling idiot. I'm sorry. He is a certified moron. And they win despite him. I just can't. I hear people actually saying, give them a break. They still won. No, like you said, the annex on the sidelines, the jumping off sides. There's so much more to just his decision making that shows this is not as tight knit. They got to figure this out because even they get that first down right with 11 seconds left. What are they going to do on the next play?
Yeah,
kick a field goal.
Kick a field goal.
What? And then we don't kick it from the 34, but we decide to kick it from the 43.
There you go.
And give them a ball at midfield to take the lead in the game. Like I can't get there with a lot of these play calling, but and that's on Nick. I still think the coordinators. You saw what Vic did. Vic was fantastic the way he was able to adjust. Bryce Huff, what did he get? 15 snaps the other day.
Did you guys both see him get thrown to the ground by the right tackle?
Like a rag doll.
Like he wasn't even existing, bro. Like, that's scary.
All right. We can't hit on everyone, but this was huge what they did for the lack of what we're getting from him. But that's different than what we're talking about. But yeah, crazy. He's been non-existent.
But Vic wasn't scared. He said in the media, he said, listen, he's still a starter. Oh yeah, he started, and then he barely played. This is what we've been asking for with this team, Tony. I've been on there with you a lot, Frank. I know you have the same thing. Accountability, and yeah. I think Vic is showing you like if you're not playing well, I'm going to hold you accountable. And he held Bryce Huff accountable this week. Now that's not the target. He also held the other guys. Jalen Carter had a hell of a game. I know the annex aside. I also think Jordan Davis finally showed up, right? You had people that he made play better. And BG, how about BG?
Right.
Still getting it done,
yes.
Bro. Still getting it done. It's crazy.
Love it.
Right? It's crazy.
15.
Oh, wait. And an alert. There was a Josh Sweat alert. He actually made a hurry. He had like a Mike Mamula hurry on that one play. Finally, Josh Sweat does something.
Go look at where Mike Mamula stands in all-time sack records for. He's like third or fourth.
I know
in Eagles history.
It is funny that you say that because he does get a bad rap, but you know why he does? Because he's attached to Warren Sapp, right?
Yes.
Like you could have taken Warren Sapp. Yes. I think that's really
all because we heard he smoked the doob.
Yeah, I know. And then Mamula was the workout warrior, right? He had a great vertical, whatever.
And then he showed himself at Westchester at the Rat. Remember that?
Was he at a Diddy party too?
Yeah,
I think he was at a freak off party. Is that what they called it? Freak off party.
He was one of those extra testosterone guys.
But here, let me ask you this about Jalen Carter because I know you're right. Like I get it. They brought up he was dominating. I understand it. I elaborated on him a little bit earlier in the show as calling him the Dominican Sue version 2.0.
No, he's not.
Saying that from an attitude standpoint, like this dude is a loose cannon to me, and he is going to eventually lose you a football game. He's going to lose you a football game. Okay, this is twice now. He was suspended already or disciplined. I'm sorry. Disciplined. Yeah. And again, what happened on the sideline was uncontrollable. By the way. On the sideline. This kid is, again, he's going to lose your football game, Dave. I'm telling you.
I don't disagree. And here's the problem with guys like this. Uber talented, can dominate the league, but just doesn't have it all up here. And I'm pointing to the head. And what happens is it's hard to turn him on and off. And, like, I need a guy that's consistently giving me effort. And that's what I worry about with Jalen Carter. It's the effort because he can dominate. He should dominate. He's that talented. But, we had the flags obviously coming into the draft. We heard the news last week. He misses a mandatory team event and doesn't start. And then you just saw everything going. Something's got to change. I thought what would have happened which was a life-changing event after Georgia won the national championship. Might have like humbled him, but someone's got to get in his ear.
I don't know who it's going to be, man.
These were small things we saw when we drafted him. I'm sure, right?
It was worth the risk.
And you know what? It was though, and I was just saying to Tony earlier, like it took everything in Philadelphia and everybody in Philadelphia to throw the kitchen sink at all these guys on the D line and say, "Hey, wake up! It's time to go. It's time to play." But they responded, and then the question is, okay, Dave, did we respond? Are we capable of playing at that level on the defensive front that we did this past weekend, or was it just we got them excited for one game, or can they maintain that level of play as we keep going?
It's a great question. I do think in spurts they can maintain it. My worry is the depth. I just don't know if they can do it for 18 games because they're very thin from the defensive end standpoint. If you're not getting anything out of Huff, I mean, you're relying on what we just see. Brandon Graham, a 35-plus-year-old defensive end. He can't get that effort every week. Yep. The young guys up front, I think we've got a lot out of Milton. I think Davis got better. I think Carter. I'm okay right in the interior. And how long are we going to get this out of Zach Bond? I mean, I love it. I just finally love seeing a linebacker fly around. So, yeah, my concerns are, yes, I do think they're just not deep enough maybe for 18 games to carry this on. But they can keep it going for a little while here. And they're going up against a Tampa team that just got smoked by Denver and got smoked, like, physically. And that's not usually Tampa's game. They were coming off a great win in Detroit. So I think the Eagles can keep it up for another week or so here, get into that bye, and maybe get a little healthy. And you know how he's out there. You know he's looking at, who's not playing.
He's lurking.
There's a name.
Who we got?
Oh, come on, David.
Hassan Reddick. Why not, baby?
Oh, my God.
Let's bring him back.
I love it. I love it.
There's something off with that, too.
I'll take it, though, man.
Dave, me too. Tomorrow.
I don't want Hassan.
I like it. We're kicking him out of the nest.
I'm sorry.
He's from the area, though. I think that helps a little bit. I think it helps.
There's a reason why, though. There's something wrong with that cat, man. He can't stay on a team. There's something. He's wearing like a Chinese tutu or something.
Guys,
so like what? Like he's supposed to be a training camp.
You media guys. I'll tell you about you.
You media guys. What is that supposed to be?
Did we have a problem with him the first 2 years he's here?
What do you mean?
No,
that's a good point.
We had
because he was producing.
We had no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And now here we are. He's gone. We traded for this stiff who can't stay on the field as a trade our best defensive player for him. I don't know. Call me crazy. What is going on?
It is odd though, because the New York Jets, the fan base was up in arms by letting Bryce Huff go.
I know.
Right? I mean, they were like, oh, and I'm like, wow, this guy must be great. And God. Yeah, man, this dude can't do anything.
It really can. And you're exactly right. I have a Jets fan at work that was like, I can't believe you got him from us. I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, well, I can. You can have him back. I'll drive him.
Did they not know what they were getting in Hassan?
Well,
I mean, did they just not pay attention? That they just
Joe Douglas dropped the ball on that.
That's
right. That's Joe Douglas dropping the ball, man.
Joe Douglas, where's he go back to? My God.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a little bit of like, oh, no, we're a place that trying to win now. We can convince him. You can't convince a guy unless you give him his money. Like these guys, they're willing to hold out for everything. They got one paycheck left. That's what Hassan Reddick is trying to bank.
How sad is that, man?
Yeah, I know. He's going to eat $22 million.
That's crazy, man. He must really believe, man. If you're eating 22 mil,
yeah,
my God, you must believe in yourself, or you're really taking a stand. I mean, listen, I grew up in a union environment. I was the president of a union. I did it for a long time, and I stood up. Yeah, I stood up for a lot. And
how many bodies you buried?
No bodies buried. But listen. I've been through various strikes, and for what we believe in. And did we always get it? No.
You made your point.
Right, but
people heard you.
22 mil. Bro, that's a lot of cake, man.
Didn't Chris Jones hold out for like a game or two last year? Didn't they bring him in like a little? So
Chiefs, yeah. He was in the yeah.
I feel like he missed the first game or two, and then he signed. So
I think he signed after the first. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a similar situation.
Oh, we're good. All right, we got out of the inning.
There you go.
Unscathed. 6-2.
What's
6-2.
How many strikeouts does he have?
He had 7.
Oh,
Good
so
night.
Yeah,
You
good
you
night. So
got
Dave,
me.
we're
He's
you
got
got to
me
keep your
all-
fingers crossed because the HRS triple play tonight was
HRS
Schwarber to get an RBI,
triple
which he
play.
cashed. We got 5 or more strikeouts for Nola, which obviously he cashed, and a hit for Trey Turner, which he cashed, and I need a hit from Alec Bohm. So
He
Bomer
couldn't hit
needs
the
to come up
side
with a hit here,
He
man.
couldn't hit the side of a barn with a basketball.
Frank's not thinking I
Right.
can hit it.
No,
I think I can hit it.
no.
Dave,
No.
let me ask you this, man. We like going
Not gonna
around the
be Alec.
NFL week 3, man. There was a
Yeah.
lot of crazy performances, more injuries, more things. What's your takeaways from week 3, man? What were some of your favorite games?
Well, I mean, you got to start with the Vikings. You just honestly, there were 2 undefeated teams in the NFL, the Chiefs and the Vikings. I mean, that, we're CJ Stroud fans. I think the guy's a heck of a quarterback, but they made him look pedestrian. And I got to give them a ton of credit. So that stood out, big time for me. And
Is that Mike Zimmer out there, by the way? Defensive coordinator?
dude, he's in Dallas getting mowed.
He's in
down.
Dallas. Who's the defense? He was in Minnesota.
No, the Minnesota defensive coordinator is the old Dolphins coach.
Who?
Take a second. Brian.
Oh, Brian Flores.
Yes.
Who's
Yep.
a stud as a
Yep.
defensive guy.
And then went to Pittsburgh last year, right? And
Yes.
hung out with Tomlin, I think, or he was either way. Yeah.
Brian Flores.
I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure he's out there. But
It
yeah,
makes Stroud look,
He's
like
got
you
it.
said, pedestrian at best, dude.
that absolutely
Yeah.
stood out. And obviously the big road, like a lot of upsets, but the one thing you got to look at and understand, Dallas Cowboys getting absolutely mauled on the ground, right? But more importantly, that's 2 losses at home they just took. And they've been a very good home team for the past few years. This is not good news for Dallas, taking those 2 losses at home with 7 left on the year. Now they're going to be on the road a lot more. The schedule toughens up. It's really showing me that this NFC East is the Eagles to be won. It really is. If they can just get out of their own way. And we thought that before the season, then got a little nervous last week with the Falcons game. But if they can really just find a way to get things healthy, get AJ back and fold, and be that offense that we think, they can really dominate this NFC East watching these other teams. I mean, the Giants, whatever, they won. They're not very good. But Dallas not being good really stood out.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, that Dallas, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Not that I want to sit here and talk about Dallas, but I mean, you pay CeeDee Lamb all that money, you pay Dak all that money, and I mean, that team just looks like a shell of itself, man. It's crazy.
Bro, there's no signs to it. Like, you think you have all the parts, you think you have all the pieces, all the coaches, all the players, and it just, you're right there the year before. Now, bam, then all of a sudden you're 2 games back the next year. This is a crazy game, man.
It is. And then looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? I mean, they're the undefeated team.
Right. How
And-
about it? How
Like
Tomlin,
Justin
baby.
Field.
one of the greatest, so underrated.
There is no way in anybody's rightful mind that you can go back to Russell Wilson. You just can't do it. It is Justin Fields' show for the rest of the year. Let's just say it. Like, it's over for Russell Wilson. And I think that's what's interesting and intriguing for me to see here with how the Steelers are playing. They know Fields' limitations, but they know his skill set too. They're not trying to give him too much. I think Chicago absolutely gave him too much. They're letting him run the ball. They're letting him do the simple things. And they're trying to win games 20-10 like they just did this weekend. And he can do that. He can't be Superman. And I think he's a good quarterback in this league. And I think the Steelers have put him in a great environment. And I hate to say it, but Arthur Smith is doing a pretty good job out there.
We buried him last year. But listen, that goes back to tell you,
what,
right?
though, to what he's saying to Justin
Yeah.
Fields, what they're doing a lot, and he's right though. They're kind of shortening the field in terms of width for him and giving him a certain amount of reads. So they're cutting stuff down on the offense for him, and they're creating quicker, faster reads with less progressions having to occur. And they definitely have him. It's actually fun to watch. And we were talking about this before we came on. A buddy of mine yesterday. These guys who made a switch to another team and at a younger age in their career,
Okay.
right, where they were kind of heralded, and then did they succeed? Can we think of any that switched and succeeded and did so well so early in that switch? And it's a short list, but it'd be nice to see him do it. That's for sure.
The big number is 73.3% completion percentage. He
There
was
you go.
less than 60 in his career in Chicago.
59, 58, something, 59.
Yeah, you just said it. They're giving him the simpler, easier looks.
Yes.
He can do that. And 73 is a great number. He was, like you said, 58, 59 coming into this season.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
difference between Matt Eberflus and Mike Tomlin. Is that
Oh,
bro?
God, Caleb Williams looks
Right.
he's gonna die. He's literally gonna die under Matt Eberflus. Well, not die physically,
Right.
but it's not looking good for him.
All right.
Another fraud of a head coach. Another fraud. These guys are collectors stealing money, man.
Oh my
Just
God.
like Dougie P
Can I
right now in
just tell you,
Jacksonville.
sometimes I say
How's that game go? It's
Atlanta-
up 13-0 Buffalo.
20-3.
20-3. Stinks. Jacksonville stinks.
the game's not even on in this, John.
Stinks.
We're watching.
Oh,
Phil's on
because this is the
everyone.
more important thing right now, man.
I should have put my foot down. Jake.
But, no, man,
Jeez.
I'm telling
How
you,
do we
it's
not
all
have-
Fill-it up, man.
No,
All
I mean,
fill it
you're
up,
all
bro.
excited.
Gotta
Yeah,
fill it up.
you wore your
Well,
damn shirt to
Let me
celebrate.
get one baseball point in because I want to ask you
Oh,
this.
brother.
You know, being dialed in the postseason coming up, they clinched tonight. What are your thoughts on the way they played the rest of these 5 games going through Sunday here? I think they got to play it like every game means something, being one game behind the Dodgers, but also trying to stay crisp. I don't think you give any of these guys a day off. I mean, maybe if they're hungover after tonight, all right, maybe you give a couple of them tomorrow. But I mean, the rest of the way, I think they got to dial this in and really play a full starting lineup.
No, I completely agree. This is every game is a 1-game playoff. You need the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the number 1 seed. So I play everything like it's a 1-game playoff. What do you think, Frank?
I agree, but it's not. He's not going to do it. He's going to give people rest.
I know that's you're right. That's
Like,
it.
why is he doing this? We all want our guys to play. Let's keep playing. Let's keep the groove going. If that's so be it, how we go in here, but he's going to give people rest, and we're all going to look at each other, Dave, Tony, me, and we're like, what are we doing?
We're gonna get mad.
Let's get rolling. Let's get everybody popping on all
That's
cylinders.
what he does. I know. I agree. That was my
I don't know.
favorite.
Our conversation earlier about analytics. We went into it a little deeper earlier.
Yep.
Dave.
No, 100%, man. What do you think, Dave? What do you think he does?
Yeah, I think he sits a couple of them each game, and he says they need the rest. And you're going to get the 4 or 5 day rest, come Sunday anyway, waiting for the next round. But you're so right to me about getting home field. In baseball, sometimes home field doesn't matter as much. We've seen these wild cards like Texas, like Arizona, like the Phillies of 2 years ago make these runs. But when you're the best home team in baseball, when you have the biggest home field advantage, and you win 67% of your games during the regular season, 80% of your games during the playoffs, you need that home field advantage. So I'm all in on trying to win out.
I agree, man.
Me
100%. 100%. Dave, you got any plays tonight for Monday Night Football?
Yeah, well, I mean, on heat ratio, I gave out 2, and 1 might be starting. You can still get. I did give the Phillies out at -175 earlier. Aaron Nola is like clinched the last 3 playoff spots for the Phillies. So when he was on the mound in their 1 game, I'm like, this looks well. Eduardo Rodriguez over 5.5 Ks tonight. He has 18 Ks in his last 2 starts, and the Giants are striking out at 28% in September. It's 3rd highest in baseball. So I like Eduardo Rodriguez tonight, and Diamondbacks. By the way, only 2 up on the Braves, so they're playing for something. Yeah, Monday Night Football, I did like the Bengals tonight, but Washington's hanging in. Bengals at 7.5. If you could get a live line, check it out. I still think the Bengals could pull away. Washington's defense is just not good enough, and I worry about Jaden Daniels in a road environment. We've seen rookie quarterbacks this year just struggle mightily. He's been good because he can run, but I think over time, I think the Bengals will pull away.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Speaking of young quarterbacks, real
I want to
fast.
sit and have a beer with him and talk about all this stuff.
Oh,
This guy right
Dave's the
here.
man.
I'm
bro.
coming.
Man.
I'm coming one night. I'm coming up.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
I
he'll be here
love
one
it.
night, bro.
Love it,
Trust me.
love it,
I
love
will.
it.
Now he's coaching
Love
his
it.
ass off in baseball. And
Nice.
he got all kinds of stuff going on, man.
Nice. I like it. I
Yeah,
like
he's
it.
got all kinds of stuff
I like
going
it.
on, man.
I
But
like
no, real fast before you go, thinking about young quarterbacks. I'm looking at Bo Nix. And I'm just
Bo
talking
Nix.
about. You talked about. No, I bring this up because listen, Sean Payton got a lot of heat with this whole Russell Wilson situation, and he just went out to Tampa and literally destroyed. Like you said, you destroyed. But that was a coaching clinic. That was the old Sean Payton, right? I mean, can he win with Bo Nix? You're the
What's
college guy.
Oh,
So
I
I'd like to ask you that.
I do like. What's your definition of winning? Though, like, is it like
No
can you-
Super Bowl. I just be competitive. Can you be
Yes.
a competitive winning team with Bo Nix?
he's that good of a coach, and Bo Nix has enough in him to be a serviceable NFL quarterback. I do believe Bo Nix. He was terrible at Auburn. That's where he started his career and really got run out of there and went up to Oregon, far, far away from Oregon is a powerhouse. Don't get me wrong, but far, far away from the national media. Playing later in the day, West Coast football doesn't get as much spotlight, and developed into just an absolute stud out there. I think Bo Nix can be a top 12, 14 quarterback if coached right, and under a Sean Payton who knows offense. Yeah, he can get there. He can. I don't think he has the weapons. That's the biggest thing. I know I like Cortland Sutton, but I don't like much outside. I mean, Franklin was his receiver in college at Oregon. If we could get him rolling a little bit more, but I mean, Dulcich, they just need a little more firepower. The running backs. So I'm disappointed in Javonte Williams. I mean, it might be time to like. I'm not sure he's a viable fantasy option anymore. So yeah, he just needs a little more in play there, but he can win with him. I do agree. I think you're a Sean Payton guy, and he can coach. He really can coach, and he needed to get rid of a lot of the old Denver stuff that was there and build his own. And we're starting to see that.
He's an offensive genius, that guy.
He is.
Offensive
He is.
genius.
People want to say it was Drew Brees.
It
wasn't just Drew Brees, man. That was
it was Drew Brees because he could execute the detailed
Yes.
orientation of that offense. I mean, that was tough stuff, understanding what they were doing back then. But I agree that's I like Sean Payton. I like me some Sean Payton. Hope he
I love me
continues.
some
And
Sean
Bo
Payton.
Nix, though. How about it, Bo Nix?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not great, but he has the tools. He's a big guy with
He
big
does.
arms, and
He
I think
does.
he's got.
We
I
questioned his smartness a little bit. We didn't know if that could translate to this level. Could he intelligently,
That's it. The
But
mindset.
and he's showing that he I guess, and that, pay some homage to Peyton for getting him to where he is, at least now, right?
Yeah,
100%.
too many kids that you think are going to be good. I'll go Paxton Lynch in Denver.
Yeah.
Big arm, but doesn't have the intelligence. You just said it. I think Bo Nix is that. I think his move out to Oregon, get away and learn the game in a different way. I think he has that sixth sense that the QB needs. And that's what I love about Hurts. I do think Hurts has intelligence. He just needs to take off the cape.
He
And
just needs to learn how to read his own defense.
Speaking of Cape, look at that. Adam checking in. Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns.
unbelievable, man.
27-3 Bills, man.
He was 1-2 against them in his career. Do you know that?
And
Yeah.
he,
He
I'll
only-
tell you what,
he
right
had
now,
three-
he's the only quarterback
before-
producing.
Okay. Well,
No, like that was up in that. When you're talking about fantasy football, I mean, me and Dave talked about all off season. It was like, Hurts. You're talking about obviously Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Dave was a Josh Allen
You have
guy.
him at number one. Yeah.
Yep. You had him. You consistently had him at number 1, man.
Well,
so he's balling out.
He has to be a hero, and I think he can be a hero. Like Hurts doesn't have to be a hero. Allen has to be for that team to win, and he is balling out.
That's true. That's true. Dave, before we get out of here, any final early look on this Eagles game coming up, man?
I will tell you, it's always dangerous with this early bye. The Eagles have a bye after the Tampa game. And I don't want them looking, too far forward, but I think that loss to Atlanta can really, kind of solidify this team. And you saw it this week. They played each other. They played together. And I think they're going to carry that into Tampa. And I think Tampa obviously will be pissed off and be ready to play. And it's been a house of horrors a little bit for us, especially with the playoff loss. But I think that playoff loss is the key to this game. I think that is added motivation for Jalen. Jalen hasn't played well down there. We beat them in Monday night last year. But besides that, he's lost 2 other playoff games there. I think Jalen comes motivated, plays one of his best games. But the key, and we're talking on Monday, is health. No Devontae, no Lane.
Brown.
Yeah, like if we're that decimated, I'll take 2 and 2 into the bye and figure it out. But if you get some of those pieces back, I do think the Eagles can win. So it's all about health, and they might not want to risk it. We'll see.
All about health. It's all
Nice.
about health. But Dave, bro, I'm gonna let you go, brother. I appreciate you checking in, giving us your time, talking about everything you did this week. Talk about NFL as always, man. We'll touch base soon, and maybe we'll get you back on next week if you're available.
Yeah, love it. You guys are the best. Have a good time out there.
Good talking to you, Davey.
Go
All right, you
Birds.
too, bro. Go Birds.
Go,
See you,
go
boys.
Phils.
See you,
Go
my
Phils.
Man. My man.
Go Philly.
There he is, man. The
Philly overall.
$10,000 winner, Mr. Dave Gleckner from Sirius XM and Win Daily Sports.
Like me. some Philly Gleckner.
$5. Did you hear? It was a $5 lineup, Frank.
Cinco.
$5, man. I'll tell you what.
We need to talk to management. These seats are really painful.
Oh, he got
My-
a big case of
my-
swamp ass right now. That's about it.
Stop
But,
that.
I
am not.
Yo,
that guy.
there we go. Another strikeout, Hoffman. We're getting closer to clinching.
My wife's listening. She
Closer to
knows.
clinching, man. I like it. But let me ask you something.
Ask me
He told,
something.
so you are, it sounded like I didn't know this, but you're a Peyton guy.
Yeah,
You are Sean Payton.
I am.
So is the Sean Payton, Drew Brees the same as the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady?
No.
What's the difference in your opinion? Just off the cuff here.
Okay, I'll say it's in the same stratosphere. Okay, but there's certain things that Tom Brady could do over and above in terms of talent level that Drew Brees could do. Now, people might go out there and say, "Oh, well, Drew Brees could read a defense just like Tom could." And okay, yes, agreed, right? And he has great stats, but there was something about Tom at the moment that more times than not he would rise above the others. But you talk about Peyton and Drew. I think the two of those more were equal in making that great than it was Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
I like that. It's a good call. Yeah, I agree.
So I think it was more of a 50-50 melding with Peyton and Breeze.
Okay.
And I think with Belichick and Tom Brady, it was like a 60-40, maybe 65-35 melding where Brady absolutely held that higher percentage as the reason to why they were successful. You know, you look back to when Belichick had his chances in Cleveland and he stunk. You know, people forget.
He did stink
Nick
in
Saban,
Cleveland, man.
Nick Saban was his defensive coordinator in Cleveland.
Yep.
Right? Most people don't know that.
But Nick Saban had his shot in Miami. That didn't work either.
Yeah, and that's okay.
It happens.
He's the greatest college football coach to ever go out there.
Yep, 100%.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Period. End of story. You got Bear Bryant next. After that, we can argue.
So
right. But
so let me ask you this though. Between those four. So if you could pick one and one, are you still going Tom and Bill, or are you if you're interchanging, would you go? What would happen if it was Peyton and Brady?
Oh, I like
Peyton
that.
Brady, Belichick Breeze. Like what?
Oh
I
my
like these
God, it
conversations,
wouldn't have
right?
worked.
No,
Neither one would have won shit.
I
No,
think Peyton Brady would have
Tom
been better.
Brady and Sean Payton would have
Oh,
fought.
they would clash.
And Drew Brees was a chill dude.
Yeah,
Tom was chill outwardly.
Yeah.
He was, you've watched the shit, dude, behind the scenes. That guy was
Whoa.
a fiery, he would tell you, and I like it because I had done that myself, throwing balls. I'm like, what the are you doing? You're supposed to run this. What are you doing?
right.
And you say it emphatically, but he would do that. And, and Drew was probably be a little more nicer about it the first time or two. There's just a delivery of things. I don't know. It's just, I don't think
It's interesting though when you think about
it
it.
wouldn't be anywhere near the same outcome.
No.
No chance. There's no, the teams though, Robert Kraft put together.
Oh, the teams, bro.
His defense.
His defense is
Guys,
work.
dude, they had awesome defenses.
Yeah. Yes,
And they
did, man.
always had a slot receiver that could beat you at any time.
But here's the
a
thing.
slot receiver.
The funny thing is
A slot. They always had a number 3 that could.
so we got to check it in. Bruce Harper.
Amendola, Wes
Check it in.
Welker.
Do you feel Thompson is a good manager for the Phillies?
Uh-oh.
We're back. We're gonna end this show on some Phillies talk, and rightfully
right.
so, because Hoffman gets out of the inning, and we're another inning closer to clinching. So I'm sure Bruce is watching this game right now. Yeah, he's a very good manager. I think he's the right manager for this team, without a doubt. That's my opinion. What do you think?
I think at this point he's the only manager
Well,
for
yeah.
this team.
Yeah.
Like I don't, we're riding and dying with him. He's our ride and die manager.
Well, you heard the player say we ride with Rob.
Everybody does. They all
Yep.
ride with each other. This team's tight. It's tight, and all of our speculation as to should he stay, will he stay? The ownership probably has a time frame in their mind, and we don't know it. Could be a year, could be 2 years.
It's true.
Okay. And they're going to say, okay, he's got 2 years. If he doesn't win in 2 years, the talent's there to do it, then we're going to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is.
And Bruce says, I feel we can't. Yeah, we can't change that.
I listen, I dislike his inability to allow emotion to play any part or feel to play any part in his decisions at times. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can be a championship winning coach without your gut playing a choice at times.
So what do you think, Bruce? Are you comfortable with Rob Thompson? Are you comfortable with Tom going forward?
Tony, I'm not.
So you're not comfortable in this postseason?
No, I'm not.
I'm
not. Listen, look, I'm not a pessimist anymore. I used to be really pessimistic.
No way.
I've changed quite a bit.
You're pretty mellow to me.
I am. But what I'm saying is, like, I used to be like, no, we're going to definitely, it's a no. And everything is mostly positive these days. But in this situation, I just don't think, I don't know why. I just don't think he's the guy that's going to do it. It'd be a shame if he left and the next guy that came in the year later, we won it.
Yeah, I don't see that playing out.
Just because I didn't mean to touch it.
No, that's right. You keep touching me, bro. Like,
listen to me.
What's wrong with you?
I'm a ball player. I'm a ball player,
again, man. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, here we go.
Bryce. So
Yeah,
Bruce says,
"Now you want to see? You want to know now what?"
Now hold on. Bruce says, "I don't
now?
like him, but I feel it's too late in the season to make a change. I feel he
swear.
manages like he's on Prozac. I feel like
does he know what Prozac is like? Bill, it was Bill.
No, this is Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce Harper, not Bryce Harper. Bruce Harper.
Is Bruce Harper on Prozac? Does he know how Prozac works? Bruce, tell us how it works and then make us understand how that would affect his managing.
I love it, man.
Let us know how that works.
I love it. Listen, man. 100%. 100%. Oh, we got a fan question here. We got fan stats. What we got, Matt?
So I have a question on Dream Team, which was what you guys were talking about. Dream Team, building the Dream Team.
What?
So coach, Bill Belichick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quarterback, Tom Brady.
Okay. I could go with that.
Offensive line, 1990s Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Larry Allen.
Defensive line, 1985 Chicago Bears.
Yes, hell yeah.
I like that.
I like that. Richard Dent.
Yeah.
The fridge, right?
Oh,
I like that. I like that.
Steve McMichael.
See, Mongo, who
Steve McMichael.
sucks what's happened to him.
Gary Fensick.
Look. There it is.
There it is.
Look at that. Boom. Right off the bat. Boom.
Ripped it right off.
You like those players?
Ripped it right off.
Right? That was like, boom, right? So it's a like.
We had defensive line.
I don't know if I would go Bill Belichick. Though.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't know if I would go Belichick.
I'm going to go Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh. Now, Bruce.
Okay.
Bruce says my father is actually on Prozac. It makes him feel unemotional and disconnected.
Okay, Bruce.
Bruce, that's a great point.
That is a perfect actual example then.
Yes.
Unemotional, detached. Yes.
Kind of explains Topper, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
So maybe we need to give him like Adderall or something.
What
do we got
to be hyped
So
up?
Bruce, what do we got to give him? We got to give him some Adderall or
Will
something.
Adderall even work for Bruce?
We'll hype him up.
Will Adderall even
Hype
work
him
for
up.
Bruce? Will Adderall even
I don't
work
know.
for
You
Bruce?
gotta try. You gotta try different things.
I mean for Topper. I'm sorry.
You gotta
So
try.
my question was, you had asked a couple questions earlier.
Yeah.
I was wondering like what was important to you for those games.
For which one? Which game?
Any game, like you guys are talking about a lot of things, that, like, and we've all gone to a game means something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is your most memorable moment at a game?
Oh, I like that. That's a good question. I will say this: my most memorable.
Like at a game, like watching it in person, Matt, or just
Or being
overall.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Been there.
For me, it was the 1993 Philadelphia Phillies. I was at the Division Series NLCS Game 1
Yeah.
when Kim Batiste won the game right? With I don't know if it was it's right down third base line. Me and my dad were at the game, sitting about 3 rows from the field.
If I'm not mistaken, it was a chopper.
It was a chopper.
Am I right?
And the inning before, he used to kind of booted the ball to tie the game,
and he
won it in the following.
Yep.
It was that for me. What about you, Frank?
I would say being at the link, right where Freddie Mitchell caught 4th and 26.
Filet mignon.
Or the last game at the vet, but I'll take.
I'm going to tell you that my
I'll
favorite
take the
point
link in
was
the 4th and 26 to watch.
Donovan McNabb's first NFC East championship.
Okay, I like that.
Nice.
D-Mac
Went with my father through the
Mercedes-Benz Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Mercedes-Benz.
I still have that
club.
under the
It's
platter
club
on my
level.
desk.
It's club level.
Every time I move
There
to
you
a
go.
different desk,
Pop goes with you.
I move
There
that
he
ticket
goes.
with me.
Oh, I like that.
All right, Mercedes-Benz Club level is nice.
I like that. That's a great memory. Wow, Josh Allen, 4 touchdown passes down, 34-3. Buffalo. How's that Dougie P now?
Is it Dougie or is it the players?
I don't know. Great stuff, Matt.
Is it
Great stuff, Matt.
Is it?
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Maddie.
Bruce checking in
Is
says,
it Bruce? Yeah.
I feel we
He
just
said
need
he-
someone with more passion.
Oh well,
Bruce,
maybe.
I agree.
Maybe.
He's all about Topper.
Maybe. And you know what? I agree with him too, because he just it's amazing that Philly has accepted a guy so monotone.
Yes.
And we've come
We're completely
come
different.
to love him so much, and we usually tend to
We
be
want the
attracted to
fiery
people-
guy.
right?
We want the fiery guy. We've
Right.
always want the
Right.
like. We didn't like Rich Kotite because number one, he was a moron, but number two, he had no personality. Right? We didn't like it. We loved Buddy because he had the personality. He had the moxie. Right?
We liked Ray Rhodes to
we
a degree too because of that.
Yeah.
Poor Ray.
Poor Ray. He didn't get a fair shake.
I liked him. as a
I did,
coach.
but
It just was the wrong time in the world for him.
well, here's
That
what we
was
got to
it.
do because we're
But
close
he was
out.
Yeah,
We're close out next week.
Damn.
Let's talk about let's build our top 5 coaches that were better coordinators than head coaches that should just stuck to being coordinators.
God, there's
right?
a lot of those.
There's a lot of them. You mentioned Ray
Yeah.
Rhodes, guys like Mike Martz, right? There's a lot of guys, man. There's a lot of
Mike
guys like that. So I think that,
Martz.
Mike
Couldn't
Martz.
stand him.
I know, but he was a one hell of an offensive mastermind,
He was a genius.
right? But I wasn't a great head coach,
Kurt Warner would tell you so.
right? Wade Phillips,
Just couldn't get the guys.
Romeo
was-
Cornell.
Oh my God,
Right?
Romeo.
These
What a
defensive guys. I
shame.
mean, you think about it, guys. So we're going to
God.
get with that next week. But we're going to sign out right here at Pike's Pub.
Nice.
Fantastic. We're going to watch these Philadelphia Phillies pop some bottles.
You
pretty
guys are
soon.
all watch me get Tony all uncomfortable like he's
Yeah,
touching
he's
you like
gonna give me
this.
some more
He's
Diddy
gonna get
breakout
all-
parties.
He's
He's
gonna get all
killing me.
mad at me.
He's really killing me. But as always, never get out of here. Everybody have a fantastic evening. Get home safe. We'll catch you back here for another live show Monday night where we're going to have more Phillies. We're going to have more Monday Night Football. We're going to have more Eagles to talk about.
Yeah.
Eagles
Listen,
recap.
can I
on
say
Tampa Bay.
something real quick?
Yeah,
I don't
man.
I don't like basketball and hockey, bro.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
Okay.
Joel Embiid's on a monster extension coming up.
It's-
So
Yeah.
we're going to have
we got
to.
some really good shit coming forward.
Yeah, we
though.
do. And we may need to get a hockey guy because I'm not good at hockey.
Well, we can share the details and certainly get hockey guys in here.
Yeah,
Sure.
because I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not a good.
I'll
hockey
bring us
guy.
in a PI Quad A state championship hockey goalie,
Oh,
What do you
there, I
think?
like that.
Roman Bassetti.
Oh, I like that. I don't know who that is, but it sounds good.
His name sounds awesome.
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
Roman Bussetti.
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 All
He's
Italian,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
All Italian. I like it.
Roman.
I like
Bussetti.
it. Well, listen, we're getting out of here. Everybody have a fantastic evening. And make sure you're following everybody, whether it be Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. Make sure you're following that Pike's Pub Facebook page. They
Thanks
list the
for having me,
specials
Tom.
and entertainment
Thanks
as
for having me
always.
out, kid.
And tune in tomorrow for a pretty big announcement coming up for some more future shows of the new and improved Frank and Tony Cutillo and Grewbs show, something like that. We're gonna be calling. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
You
Everybody
got
have a fantastic
Yeah.
evening. We'll catch you back here next time.
Peace.